Good morning
Good morning
Good morningค่ะ Good morning ค่ะ Good morning ค่ะ Oh my god
ใช่อยู่ด้วยกัน
อาจารย์วันนี้ชุดสวยนะคะ
ใช่น่ารักจังเลยครับอาจารย์ Good morning นะครับ
อยู่แล้วค่ะทุกคนเราสักครู่นะคะ
น่ารักไม่แพ้พวกหนูเลย
Okay, shall we start the first year?
Yes, teacher.
Okay. Where the MC? Hello. MC has gone.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the seminar on Classroom Action Research Presentation on English Language Teaching and Learning 2022. So, my name is Subin Senongyung. It's my honor to be the Master of Ceremony for today. This seminar is organized by Bachelor of Education English Program, College of Teacher Education, Panakorn Rajabhat University. So, shall we start with the first school, right?
Who is to give the report first?ระหว่างรอ MC อาจารย์ถามก่อนว่าปี5มาครบยัง
ปี6ก็มานะครับอาจารย์
ได้ยินอยู่ปี6นะเนี่ย
ครับ
ปี5มาครบยังหัวหน้าเช็คชื่อนะช่วงนี้น้องก็เหมือนวอร์มช่วงปี4จัดสัมมนาเยอะนะคะน้องก็กำลังวอร์มเสียงอยู่เพราะฉะนั้นเนี่ยก็เมื่อกี้เหมือนวอร์มกันเนาะเดี๋ยว MC ลงสุบินนะคะโอเคปี5น่าจะมาแล้วปี5วันนี้ก็ใส่ชุดนักศึกษามาปี4คนจัดก็จะเป็นเสื้อสีสาขานะคะก็จะดูความประสบการณ์จากชุดการแต่งกายนะคะวันนี้นะนักศึกษาก็ดูน้องปี3มาหรือยังปี3มาบ้างยัง
มาแล้วค่ะ
มาแล้วเนาะพอปี3มาเยอะไหมคะปี3ได้ฟ้องอาจารย์สุรศักดิ์ว่าไม่ได้เข้ามาฟังรุ่นพี่เลยนะคะค่อนข้างห่างเหินเนาะอันนี้น่าจะถามวินแล้ววินบอกว่าน่าจะรองรับได้250ใช่ไหมไม่รู้อ่ะใช่ไหมคะปริศนาเนาะนะคะ
ตอนนี้แค่92
ก็ยังได้อยู่92นะก็มีปี3เนี่ยเข้าไม่ได้มั้ยมีใครเข้าไม่ได้หรือว่าใครจะสละชีพตัวเองนะคะถ้าเข้าไม่ได้ MC พร้อมยังรู้สึกวันนี้มี15โรงเรียนใช่ป่ะ15โรงเรียนใช่ไหมเพราะนั้นเนี่ยเดี๋ยวก็ใช้เวลากระชับนะคะเบาๆกระชับเพราะฉะนั้นเนี่ยเดี๋ยว MC แจ้งด้วยเนาะว่าจะต้องมีquestionnaire 2 ฉบับสำหรับปี5จะทำ2 อันนะคะปีอื่นปี5กับปี4จะทำ2 อันแล้วก็ปี4จะทำ1 อัน MC พร้อมยัง
พร้อมแล้วครับ
โอเค
Okay, and now our chairperson has already been with us. Let's start our program. It's my great honor to invite Ms. Pratana Padungpot, our chairperson of the seminar. And next, may I invite Ms. Prapasiri Champakel, our group representative, to report the organizing of the seminar. Please welcome Ms. Prapasiri Champakel on the spotlight.
Thank you. Dear Assistant Professor Dr. Pratana Padungpot, the Head of English Education, on behalf of first-year students, I am grateful to you for your presence at the Classroom Action Research Presentation 2022 on English language teaching and learning of fifth-year students of the English education. The purposes of the conference are as follows. First, in order for the fifth-year student to give a presentation on their classroom action research. Second, in order for the fifth-year student to share their experience and knowledge from various educational fields, which they have worked as student teachers. Third, in order for the junior of English major, College of Teacher Education, to learn and gain knowledge on various areas for the benefit of preparing themselves to teach for the coming year. For this occasion, may I call upon Assistant Professor Dr. Pratana Padungpot, the Head of English Education, to deliver the opening remarks of Classroom Action Research Presentation 2022 on English language teaching and learning of fifth-year students of English education. Please welcome.
Dear lecturers and my beloved students, I'm very pleased and honored to be invited to preside over Classroom Action Research Presentation 2022 on English language teaching and learning of fifth-year students of the College of Teachers Education. This conference made everyone realize the importance of internship too. It's very important for teacher students to know their own the weakness and strengths for professional development in the future. On this occasion, I hope you all are well prepared. You should keep learning, practicing, and doing activities for your own interest and getting a good experience for passing down all your knowledge to the next generation. I wish you all the best in the learning beyond classroom and applying in your professions. I strongly believe that all of you will make great teachers and make great difference. And now is a reasonable time. I would like to declare Classroom Action Research Presentation 2022 on English language teaching and learning of fifth-year students of the College of Teachers Education.
Okay, thank you for a meaningful opening remark. After the seminar, we will deliver a token of appreciation to our chairperson of this. Next, may I invite our chairperson, organizing team, and our participants to take a photos by a screenshot. The picture from the screen.
Who invite Ajahn or Ajahn, please.
Yeah. Once again, please turn on your camera on. We will screenshot.
เดี๋ยวแป๊บนึงนะคะพอดีว่าเน็ตหนูมันช้าเดี๋ยวทุกคนยิ้มใหม่ค่ะ 1 2 3โอเคค่ะขอบคุณค่ะ
Okay, now it's time to start our seminar. Let's begin with the first session. I will send my microphone to Miss Priscilla Tesai.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Swin, for your invitation. Okay, we start first school. I will spin for first school. Can you see my screen?
yes
Okay. Okay, may I invite Don Mương Chaturachinda for
Wow โอเค
Okay, let's start. Okay. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. First of all, I would like to introduce myself. My name is Saopha Yindi. We are from Don Mueang Chaturachinda School. Today, we will present about this topic. Okay, go to the next slide, please. Yeah, we are present this. This is our topic. The first is internship knowledge. Second is about the project, and the last one is about the research. Okay, next slide. First of all, I would like to introduce our supervisor. The first is Assistant Professor Dr. Prathana Padungpot, is the supervisor of Vachara Siwatham Panya. Next is Ajahn Sumita Pankunbadi, is the professor of Apishaya Hiran Busaba Prasai and me Saopha Yindi. And the last one, this is Ajahn Palisa Sunthorn Savet, is the supervisor of Nattapon Naklod and Pornapha Silong. Okay, let's start with the internship knowledges. For the internship knowledges, first knowledge is the thing that we learn from Don Mueang Chaturachinda teacher. First, we learn about the duties of the teacher. The teacher will do more than teaching in the classroom. Sometimes we have to get up early and standing in front of the school for greeting our students, checking their uniform, and now we have to check their health too. Next, we learn to help each other, not only our department in the school. That means you have to help another department in the school too, because this is the common thing to do when you are the student intern in the school. For example, if the school want you to organize the place for New Year party, you have to do it. You can't refuse. And the last thing that we learn is about teaching style. When I went to this school, I saw the various of teaching technique and teaching style, because it is depending on our student ability. Okay, may I invite Pornapha to present the next topic? Please welcome.
Thank you, Ms. Saopha Yindi, for your invitation. The next topic is learning from Don Mueang Chaturachinda student. First, students are different. Students have different background knowledge. Therefore, teachers should manage learning to suit everyone. Next, activities for then worksheet. Students prefer learning through activity rather than work, such as playing games. Next, classroom management. Each student has different knowledge, habits, and preference, so management is unexpected and must be constantly adjusted. The last is students are like a teacher. We are the teacher who teach and educate students, and students give us experience too. Next, project. Enhancing English skill with songs. I'm going to present about 5 topics. First, relational. Songs are a great source of their life language. Students can use songs to practice lots of different language skills. Most of our songs are a fun way to learn English, so students learn the vocabulary and new idioms through listening English songs. Next, target group. We choose 30 students from grade 10 to 12 Dormern Taturatinda School, semester 2, academic year 2021. Next, objective. First, to develop students on knowledge of English vocabulary, idiom, and listening skill. And the last is to study the students' satisfaction after participating towards enhancing English skill with songs. May I invite Vachara to present the next topic?
Okay, thank you, Pranapa, for your invitation. Okay, this topic is about overview of enhancing English skills with song. We presented English song through Google Meet. About plan, we meeting and planning the project on November 23rd, 2021. Do students present the vocabulary and idioms about English song in the classroom on December 13, 2021. Next. Okay, check. We collecting data, analyzing and summarizing the results and making the report on November 23rd, 2021. And the last one is act. The project improvement and correction from the assessment results on January 31, 2022. Next. About the results, students developed vocabulary and listening skill at a very high level. Percentage average score was 94.33. Students had a very high level of certification towards enhancing English skills with song project, mean equal to 4.84. Next. Okay, these are the student work that they did. As you can see, it has many different vocabulary and idiom that they can use in their life from just one song. Next. Okay, next, may I invite Busaba to present the next topic? Please welcome.
Thank you, Vachara, for your invitation. Okay, the next topic is research. A development of English grammar study of present perfect tense for grade 11 students at Dormern Taturatinda School. Okay, next. We divided into 9 topics. Okay, let's begin with the first topic is rational. Okay, in the rational, as the researcher observed the student since semester 1 the academic year 2021, the most of students in grade 11.1 had the problem with present perfect tense. They don't understand and they confused about present perfect tense. They don't understand and how to use present perfect tense, and they think that the grammatical contents are difficult. So the researcher has considered it to be the significant problem that should be taken promptly to resolve. Okay, the research objectives. The first one, to study the learning achievement of students learned by developing English grammatical competence on using present perfect tense. Second, to study the efficacy of the lesson plan on English grammatical competence development on using present perfect tense. And the last one is to study the students' certification after studying present perfect tense. Okay, next. The scope of the research. The population is the class of grade 11 students of Donmueang Chaturajinda School in the second semester in the academic year 2021. There are 222 students, and the sample are the participants were grade 11.1 class with 10 students selected by using purposive sampling, and the period of time is semester 2 since December 2021 to January 2022. Okay, next. May I invite Apitaya Hiran to present the next slide. Please welcome.
Thank you, Musaba, for your invitation. Next, about conceptual framework. Independent variable is using lesson plan on present perfect tense. Dependent variables. First, the learning achievement of students learned by developing English grammatical competence on using present perfect tense. Second, the efficacy of the lesson plans on English grammatical competence on using present perfect tense, and the student satisfaction after studying present perfect tense. Next, research instruments. First, present perfect tense lesson plans. Second, test on using present perfect tense, and questionnaire for student satisfaction towards learning on present perfect tense. Next, data analysis. There are 3 parts. For the part 1, analysis of learning achievement on present perfect tense by using mean, standard deviation, and percentage. Mean average score was 12.30. Standard deviation score was 1.25, and percentage average score was 82.00. Next, part 2 is about analysis of the efficacy of the lesson plan on present perfect tense by using learning process, efficiency, and effectiveness of the results. For the learning process efficiency, average score was 83.70, and the effectiveness of the results, average score was 82.00. So, the lesson plan is efficient higher than the specific criterion. Next, part 3 is about analysis of the student satisfaction towards learning on present perfect tense by using mean and standard deviation. Mean average score was 4.62. Standard deviation score was 0.66. The interpretation was highest level. Next, research result. First, the learning achievement of students learned by developing English grammatical competence by using present perfect tense was a very good level. Percentage average score was 82.00. Second, the efficacy of present perfect tense lesson plans are efficient, which was higher than the specific criterion. And the students had a highest level of satisfaction towards learning on present perfect tense. Mean average score was 4.62. May I invite Nattapon to present the next topic. Please welcome.
Thank you, Apichara, for your invitation. In this point about the discussion, the result of this research was found that the student had the learning achievement in a very good level on using present perfect tense because the researcher had designed the learning activity follow the process for the communication that occur in each step, and also an addition of small part of activities to motivate and activate the student who had the learning problems for effective learning and also extremely developed. According to Panchapon and Sujira, they represent the step of teaching grammatical structure. They divide into 5 steps from different ways of teaching. The first one lead in to prepare your student, make your student ready to learn. And second, teaching. Design the teaching and design the the lesson to have the student learn. And third one, after the student learned, they have to practice and they have to do what they learn. And fourth, teach them to be applied in the real life. And the last one is the taste what your student have learned. And the next one, the lesson plan. The lesson plan on using the present perfect tense was efficient by a specific criteria due to the research had been focused on quality of the innovation standard that can be used in the learning activity to be ready. As to it, the present perfect tense English lesson plan are efficient. This will result in the student's good learning outcomes that occur during and after completing the research implementation. And also the student satisfaction. Students were satisfied with the learning on using present perfect tense at the highest level because the researcher has designed the learning activity that focuses on the communication. And also, in addition, they can be really applied in the real life. According to the Wallapon, the student satisfaction with teaching and learning by using instruction package on present perfect tense found that the total was at the highest score, mean equal 4.68, standard deviation equals 0.11. And also, after we have research, the suggestion for the research is the activity of the lesson plan should be interesting and appropriate to each student because the student have the different ability. And also, the activity should be various. Okay, it should be various. Because you cannot use the same activity all the whole time or maybe all the whole term. Your student will get bored. And also you should encourage your student to be confident in learning grammar. They will have their will and brave to learn. And the next one, for our suggestion, you should study and develop the lesson plan about grammar in another context by using learning, listening, speaking, reading, writing skill to make it more efficient, not only one scope. There should be a project all the skill. And also you should extend the period of the research such as 1 to 2 semesters to find an efficiency of the lesson plan to make it more interesting, not only a short period. And also after you have listened and pay attention to our presentation. If you have any doubtful or any confusion, list your questions and anytime. Do you have any question?
Do you have any question or recommendation?
My name's Patani Dongsokaijai. I have a question to ask you all.
Do you have any question? If you don't have any question, you can compliment our
Natapon.
Do you have any compliment?
Natapon. Can you hear me?
If there is no question on our presentation about the experience, research, or maybe project, you can compliment us. Don't forget to turn your mic.
Natapon, Patani have a question.
Can you hear me?
Why I cannot hear anyone?
Okay,
Your
Patani,
speakers are broken, man.
Okay, you're hearing me.
Sorry, I can't hear anyone, so I thought that is no one speaking.
So I have a question. Do you have any problem that you did your project, your singing project? And it's very interesting. I love your students' work. It's very
Ah,
It's very
for the
beautiful.
project, right?
Yes.
It's
There's
also
any
have
problem?
it's also have some problem, on the COVID, right?
Yeah.
On the COVID issue, and also we cannot effectively call our students to meet in the class because some students have a lot of work in the COVID, and online students have work a lot, and also someone doesn't have a part-time job.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's right. So we activate them by make it interesting, and students really interesting because a song they can share the experience, and also they have fun with that.
Mm-hmm. Wow. Very interesting. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Patani.
Thank you for your question.
Do you have any question?
Any else?
Do you have any other want to ask something or compliment us? Okay. And okay, for now, if there is no question, and also we have to goodbye from our group for now. Okay, and let the next group present. Okay, thank you so much. Thank you for your attention today. Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you so much.
You guys are real damn nice, man.
Bye.
Okay, thank you. Don Mueang Jaturatinda School. And next, move to Okay, may I invite Sara Vidya School? Present.
Okay, thank you. Please allow me to share my screen. Wait a minute, please. Can you hear me, everyone?
Yes.
Yes, I can hear you.
Can you see my screen, my PowerPoint?
Yes.
Yes,
Yes,
I see it.
Okay, I will start. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Let me introduce ourselves. My name is Chayanit Thongyuan.
And me, my name Phakawadi Promkeo.
Okay, we are from Sara Vidya School. First of all, we would like to say thank you everyone to participate in this seminar. Okay, me and my friend, Chayanit and Phakawadi too. Okay, first of all, we would like to introduce our supervisor, Ajahn Sathianpan Khunmontri. He is my supervisor.
And Ajahn Sumitra Pankunwadi, she is my supervisor.
Okay, today we are going to present about school experiences, the school project, and the classroom research. Okay, we are divided the contents into three aspects. The first one, internship knowledge. The second one, the project. And the last one is the classroom research. Okay, let's start with internship knowledge. Okay. In my responsibility, I taught students in Matayom 1 for 5 classes. For Matayom 1/2, 1/4, 1/6, 1/8, and 1/10. And what have we learned? And have we learned many things from to be as a teacher trainer? Okay, for the first one, preparation. For that preparation, every time every time before I teaching, I will prepare the lesson plan, prepare the activities and material before every time that I taught students in online class for effectively teaching and learning. The second, to manage the classroom effectively. Among the COVID-19 pandemic, my school almost taught students in online to 100%. So I had to find an interesting activity in order to get student attention, such as be creative in making my PowerPoint using the game like WonderGo, Brookit, or other application. The third one, learning how to adapt and adjust. Of course, being a teacher trainer is familiar to a real teacher in school. So adaptability is so important, and I learned how to adapt myself in that school, how to adjust myself to school society. Number 4, be empathy and have patience. Yes, of course, among the COVID-19, students learn and study through the online class. So some students lack of internet, some students lack of the device such as smartphone or tablet or computer. So as me to be a teacher trainer, I will be empathy and have patience. Number 5, learning to work as a team. Yes, in my school, in Sarat Vidya School, there are many teacher trainers from other university, so that I will work with them as a teamwork. And the last one, teacher's personality is a very good point, because my uniform of university is a good point, because when the students see that, they act like that the teacher is a role model to them. And then may I invite Ms. Pakawadi Promkel to present about the next topic.
Thank you, Janet, for invitation me. What have we learned from students? I have learned many things from my students. First, students' behavior. We should learn habits of individual students, because each student comes from a unique background and individual personality and different environment, so they have different habits. Second, learning styles. It is important for teachers to understand the differences of students' learning style, so we learn how to adjust to meet the individual needs of each student. And third, problem solving. We learn to solve problems in online class, such as students did not have telephone, tablet, computer, or internet channels. So teachers should be flexible with online attendance and assignments.
Okay, for this slide, I will present about the school project. The school project is English on Songs ฟังเพลิน Learn Project, Learn Vocabs Project. Okay, for the first aspect about rational, English language plays an essential role in our lives as it helps to communication. It is important for students as it broadens their minds, develops emotional skill, improves the quality of life by providing job opportunities. Songs always contain a lot of useful vocabulary, phrases, idioms, and expressions which could be used in daily life. It helps to improve the vocabulary and pronunciation, so students can use the song to practice English language skill, and it is a fun way to learn English too. The second is a target group. The sample were 40 students from grade 7 and grade 9 at Sarat Vidya School in the second semester on academic year 2021. The objective, I will divide it into two objectives. For the first objective is to develop students on the knowledge of English vocabulary, idioms, and phrases in various songs. The second objective is to study the students' satisfaction after participating towards enhancing English skills through songs. Okay, number 4, may I invite Ms. Pakawadi to present about this topic.
Thank you for your invitation. Part 4 Overview of English on Songs from Per Learn Vocab Project. According to the table, I will divide into 4 steps. First, plan. The process of plan is meeting and planning for project. On the date was held 10 November 2021. Next, do. The process of do is promote on Google Classroom. Teacher present the vocabulary, idioms, and phrases to the songs on Google Meet, and students play game together. On the date was held 16 November to 10 December 2021. Next, check. The process of check is collecting data, analyzing and summarizing the results, and making the report. On the date was held 17 December 2021, and the last act or adjust. The process of act or adjust is project improvement and collection from the assignment results. On the date was held on 22 December 2021. Next part, result. First, students develop knowledge and ability of English vocabulary, idioms, and phrases in various songs were at a very high level. Percentage was 87, and 2. Students had a very high level of satisfaction towards participating in the project activity, were at the highest level. Mean was 4.51. This is the illustration when the student did our project.
Okay, for this slide, I will present about the research, the classroom research. The name is the use of the quizzes program to improve vocabulary memorization ability in learning English of grade 9 students at Sarat Vidya School. Okay, there are 9 overview. For the first one, rationale. The second one, research objective. The third, scope of research. The fourth, the conceptual framework. The fifth, research instruments. The sixth, data analysis. The seventh, research result. The eighth, discussion. And the last one, suggestion. Okay, start with the rationale. Since the first semester in academic year 2021, the more students in grade 9 had a problem with vocabulary memorizing ability. They didn't have motivation to learn vocabulary, so the researcher has considered it to be a significant problem which could be taken promptly to resolve. The second aspect is research objectives. There are 2 research objectives. The first one, to study the learning achievement of the vocabulary memorizing ability by applying the quizzes program. And the second is to study the students' attitudes of vocabulary memorizing ability by applying the quizzes program. The third aspect is scope of the research. The first one, population and sample, the class of grade 9 students of Sarat Vidya School in the second semester in the academic year 2021. There are 495 students, and the sample were grade 3/2 class with 10 students selected by using purposive sampling. Period of time was held on the second semester since November 2021 to February 2022. Okay, the conceptual framework. This is independent variable and dependent variable. For the first aspect, independent variable is applying quizzes program in learning English vocabulary. And about the independent variable, there are two dependent variable. For the first one, the learning achievement of vocabulary memorizing ability. And the second one is the student's satisfaction toward vocabulary memorizing ability by applying quizzes program. Okay, this is the 5th research instruments. There are 3 research instruments. For the first instrument is lesson plan of vocabulary memorizing ability by applying the quizzes program. The second is the achievement test of vocabulary memorizing ability. And the last instrument is questionnaire for students' satisfaction towards vocabulary memorizing ability. And the next topic, may I invite Ms. Pakawadi to present.
Okay, next part, data analysis. Part 1, analysis of learning achievement of vocabulary memorizing ability. Mean, standard deviation, and percentage. And part 2, analysis of students' satisfaction toward learning vocabulary by applying the Quizzes program. Mean and standard deviation. Next, data analysis. Part 1. Sample was 10. Sample was 10. Average score was 16.5. Standard deviation was 1.96 and percentage was 82.5. 82.5. Next, part 2, analysis of students' satisfaction toward learning vocabulary by applying the Quizzes program. Average score was 4.54. Standard deviation was 0.16 and interpretation was highest level. Next part, research results. 1. The learning achievement of vocabulary memorizing ability by applying the Quizzes program was in a very good level. Percentage average score was 82.5. And second, the students had the highest level of satisfaction towards vocabulary memorizing ability. Average score was 4.54. Next, discussion. First, learning achievement of vocabulary memorizing ability by applying the Quizzes program was in a very high level. The result of this research were found that the students had learning achievement of vocabulary memorizing ability by applying the Quizzes program was in a very good level because the quizzes were one of the interesting ways that could be used by the teacher in teaching English to improve the students' vocabulary. It helped the students to understand the subject easily because using quizzes in teaching and learning vocabulary could motivate the students in learning. It proved by their scores were improved and they gave the good response in their teaching and learning vocabulary, as Srinya Thani, 2019, said that learning vocabulary by using quizzes makes students have the learning achievement in fundamental English in higher than pre-test score. Next, the student had a highest level of satisfaction toward vocabulary memorizing ability. Average score is 4.54. The student's satisfaction towards vocabulary memorizing ability by applying the Quizzes program was at the highest level because the Quizzes program can be played on a variety of devices such as computers, tablets, and smartphones through a web browser. When we use in the classroom, it will make the learner more interested and help to remember vocabulary from the competition or from the pictures in the game. According to Lamaniya Suthamjanya, 2015, the students' satisfaction with teaching vocabulary by using application found that the total was at a high level. Last part, suggestion. First, the teacher should consider the students' devices such as internet signals, mobile phones, computers, tablets, or other devices that can be used for activities. Second, teachers should design quizzes activities to be more interesting, such as adding pictures or videos. And third, teachers should provide a variety of games or other applications in order to give a chance for students to choose the game or other application that they want to play. Students will be more involved in teaching and learning. Do you have any question?
Do you have any questions?
เขาได้ยินเสียงไหมอะ
Yes please อาจารย์เสียนพันธ์ขุนมนตรี
Yeah, I have an equation.
Okay.
Yes, but first of all, I have to tell that you did a good job, the group 1 and group 2, okay,
Thank
for
you.
today. And I would like to ask you, the first question is, why you choose to use a PDCA, right, in your project? I would like to know that.
Right, okay, because I use the step PC. Oh, okay, please wait a minute. I will present. I will show my PowerPoint too. Okay. For this slide, I will use PDCA because I think that it's the effectively step to do, and I will provide the date. I will provide the date for each step. I think that it is the suitable for the process of the project. Yes. So that I will use this PDCA step for this project.
Okay, and you think that it worked well for this?
Yes.
Okay.
Of course.
Okay, good. And okay, a little bit for the second question in terms of being teacher students in Salavitia, and what is the most thing that you learn from this teaching practicum?
Okay, the most thing that we learn, I think that is the students' behavior. Almost I said that many people think that the big school is talent, or student in school is clever than small school, but in fact, but not is true, because some students come from different family and different background, so that the important things is how to learn background knowledge, how to learn background family, how to learn student behavior is important. It's very important to adjust some activity, to adjust the lesson, or to provide student more effectively.
Right. Okay.
Yes.
Okay, that's a good thing that you learn. Okay, for everything from your teaching practicum, and so I hope that in the future, if you have a chance, or if you be a teacher, be a real teacher in the future, you will apply, you will use, you will bring everything that you learned from now on to apply in the future. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you. Okay.
Any questions? If you don't have any question, I will finish my PowerPoint presentation. Okay?
Okay, thanks.
Okay, thank you.
I don't have any question, but I just want to tell you that you have you presented like expertly, and I love the way you present and your slide. It's really good. Thank you.
Thank you. Love you too. Love you, everyone. See you.
Yeah, you done a very good job now.
Okay. For next call, please.
Okay. And next, may I invite บางบัวเพ่งตั้งตรงจิตวิทยาคาร School for present.
บางบัวขอไปช่วงบ่ายไหมคะ
สนอกว่าไปช่วงบ่ายไหมได้โอเค
เพราะว่าฟ้าติด ทำธุระใช่ไหมคะ
ใช่ค่ะ
Okay, next. Okay, may I invite วิทยาวนาลัย2 วิทยาวนาลัย to school for to present. Yes. Please welcome.
Thank you very much. Just a moment, please.
Okay.
Do you see my screen?
Yes.
Yes.
Right. Okay. So we start now.
So, okay. Can you hear me, everyone?
Yes.
Yeah.
So clearly.
Oh.
Yes.
Ladies and gentlemen, let me introduce myself. My name is Miss Satina Pesla. So we are from Vidyamalay to school. Today we are going to talk about internship 2. Next. May I introduce our team? For the first is Mr. Walakit Walkar.
Good morning.
The second is Miss Sutida Phanongdu.
Good morning.
The third is Mr. Pitayu Singh Pan.
Good morning.
And the last is Mr. Visanu Pacharathon.
Hello, everyone.
For our supervisor is Dr. Sudasak Damtare. Next. We divided our presentation into 3 parts. The first part is internship knowledge. The second part is project. And the last part is research. So may I invite Mr. Walakit Walkar to talk about next topic.
Okay, thank you for your invitation. Next, we will talk about the learning from the Lithium Vanalized to school. First is being active. We have to be on time, work hard, and work in detail. We have many activities in this school, including Christmas activities, Chinese New Year, or final exams. Okay, next. We have to be adaptable. We adapt everything in the university that we learn from the first year until first year to adapt to my lesson plan and our class to engage students that has them to follow our classroom. Next. Being appropriative, we need to being appropriative in school, including well dressed, as you said, you can see in the picture, well speaking, and the very important part is good manner. We need to be good manner in the school all the time. Next is being ambitious. We need to prepare to be a good teacher in the future. We have the role model that they are the teachers in the school that we learn from them. Okay, next. Learning activities. Most of our group, we need to use game-based learning to teach students, because game-based learning is the best way to engage students, to have them follow the lesson by game and make them easily to learn English and motivate them very much. Next, classroom management. We have both online class and on-site class. So it's very different classroom management. So we need to find a way to hold the class all the time, but because very different the class. Okay. Next, may I invite Ms. Sujita Fanondu to present about our project. Please welcome.
Thank you for your invitation. I'm going to talk about our project. The project is Cultural Competence Development on Christmas Day. Next. The first rational, cultures and language have often been described as the separable, and the relationship between them is highly complex. Language is not just the sum total of words, grammatical principles, and sentence structure, but also unique cultural norms, social system, and cognitive processes. Next target group. Our target group is Vithaya Vanalai 2 students, not less than 50%. And the objectives to enhance knowledge about Christmas through the spelling bee and Christmas cards activities, to study the satisfaction of students that participating in the project's activities. And this is the overview of cultural competence developments on Christmas Day. Meeting with foreign departments of Vithaya Vanalai 2 school, planning the operation of the project, promoting, explaining to the participants, doing the activities, collecting the data and analyzing the results of the project, making the report, and course-corrected the project. And this is our result. The results on the target students enhanced knowledge about Christmas through the spelling bee and Christmas card evaluation was at the highest level. The percentage was 93.33, and the students were satisfied with their participation in projects activities at a high level. The mean was 4.27. Next, may I invite Mr. Vishayut Singpan to talk about the next topic.
Thank you for your invitation. For the next topic is about the classroom action research. Next. For the action research is development of English grammatical competence in using comparative and superlative sentences of Mathayom Siksa for students of Vithaya Vanalai 2 school. And the research is from Visanu Pacharathon. Next, and the rationale. Since semester 1, the academic year 2021, it has been found that some students still have problems with learning on the comparative and superlative. And so the researcher has considered it to be a significant problem that should be taken promptly to resolve. Next. And the research objectives. First, to study the grammatical competence of students learned by developing English grammatical competence on using comparative and superlative sentences. Second, to study the efficacy of the recent plan on English grammatical competence development on using comparative and superlative sentences. And the last one is to study the student satisfaction after studying using comparative and superlative sentences. Next is the scope of the research. For the scope of the research is population. Population was 426 students from Mathayom Siksa 4 of Vithaya Vanalai 2 school. And the sample were 10 students from Mathayom Siksa 4/4 and selected by purpose-serving sampling. And the content is about the comparative and superlative competence. And the periods of time were November 2021 to January 2022. Next is a conceptual framework, independent variable, using lesson plan on comparative and superlative sentences. And a dependent variable. First, the grammatical competence of students learned by developing English grammatical competence on using comparative and superlative sentences. And the second, the efficacy of the lesson plan on English grammatical competence development on using comparative and superlative sentences. And the last one, the student satisfaction after studying using comparative and superlative sentences. For the next topic, may I invite Mr. Visnu Pacharathon to present about the research instrument.
Thank you for your invitation. So the research instrument were the comparative and superlative sentences lesson plan, the achievement test on the using comparative and superlative sentences, and the questionnaire for student satisfaction toward learning of using comparative and superlative sentences. And the data analysis we divided into 3 parts. The first part is analysis of the learning achievement on comparative and superlative sentences. The mean score was 12.10 and the SD was 0.94 and the percentage is 80.67. And the second part is analysis of the efficacy of the lesson plan on comparative and superlative sentences. So the lesson plan is efficient. The E1 is 85 and the E2 is 80.67, which is higher than the specific criterion. And the third part, that means the analysis of student satisfaction toward learning on comparative and superlative sentences. The mean score was 4.75 and the SD is 0.39, which is the highest level. So the research results, the grammatical competence of students learned by developing English grammatical competence on using comparative and superlative sentences was the highest level. The percentage average score was 80.67. And the second is the efficacy of using comparative superlative sentence lesson plans was efficient 85 and 80.67, which was higher than the specified criterion. The third one is the student had a very high level of satisfaction toward learning of using comparative and superlative sentences. The mean score was 4.64. And the last one is the content analysis, which is the students were happy and wanted to learn with these activities again. They learned a new technology from the classroom action research as well. And this is our discussion. The result of the research were found that the student had a very good level of grammatical competence on using comparative and superlative sentences because the researcher had designed the learning activities based on the communication instruction as Sumita Angwatanakul 1992 has summarized the important teaching step, which is the presentation, practice, and production. And the next one, for the efficacy, the lesson plan on using comparative and superlative sentences was efficient in accordance with the specific criterion. Due to the research has been focused on the quality of innovations standard before it can be used in the learning activity, as Dungkamon Bunhom 2009 and Sopon Nongtong 1997 defined the meaning of this relevant performance that the criterion required in order to find the effectiveness of the lesson plan, which the research had created. And the last one is the student satisfaction with the learning on comparative and superlative sentences at the highest level because the researcher had designed a learning activity that focused on communication and also fun. In addition, the insertion of learning activity helps to persuade and motivate them to understand, including being able to apply in real life. As Darini Posai 2009 has given the meaning of satisfaction that it is feeling within the human mind, which will not be the same. And the suggestion of our research, the activities in the lesson plan should be appropriate to the level of students. And if it has more time, the researcher should design the lesson in various kinds of activities. And the last one is the researcher must encourage students to be more confident at using English, especially another skills. And the next, may I invite Ms. Sasina Pensala to end our presentation.
Thank you for your invitation. That's all for our presentations. Thank you all for listening. It was a pleasure being here today. So if you have any questions, please feel free to ask us.
Do you have any questions?
Any questions?
Yes, I have some questions. Can you hear me? Yeah.
Louder, please, teacher.
Hello. Can you hear me? Yes. Okay.
Yes.
Why did you choose to do this research?
Why? Teacher asked me why, right? Yes.
Yeah.
Because on the semester one, I'm having a test with the student, and then the student this topic is quite very low score, which is the lowest score of all the topic that I taught them on the semester one. So I decided to choose this because I considered that was the heavy problems that must be resolved.
Okay, thank you. Good to hear that. And I will ask the last question. Could you please tell me the definitions of the experts to check or to evaluate your questionnaire or your research or something? Could you please give the definition of expert?
Well, the expert that evaluate our instruments and of the research. The definition, I thought that they must have an experience to teach in the school because they know well how student they are, and then if they know well the student, so they will know how to use the instrument for the student that appropriate to the student, and that's the definition for me. And also if it could be, so they must have some quarantine like course of 3 or 2, maybe something like that. Yes, to quarantine if it could be.
In the field of PLT or something. The university student can be the university student can be an expert or not.
I thought it cannot be because they don't have any experience in the school, which if it related to your research, so they can be, but if not related to your research, so they cannot be the expert.
Okay, thank you. That's good answers for my FYC.
Any questions? Well, if there is no question, so thank you for your paying attention and apologize for any errors, and see you again in next time. Goodbye.
Okay, thank you. Ritya Vanalai to school for your present. Okay, and next. May I invite Pathum Vilai School to present? Yes, please welcome.
Okay, thank you. Please waiting for a moment. Okay, good morning everyone. I'm pleased to be here with you. First of all, let me introduce myself. My name is Intawan Jason. I'm from Pathum Vilai School. So let's get started the first part. My supervisor is Assistant Professor Dr. Prathana Padumpot. For the first part is internship knowledge. What have I learned from the teachers? Always a good role model. Always prepare yourself for class. Have appropriate style on teaching. Be adaptable. And what have I learned? Be polite to speak. Show empathy. And the last one is focus on student. For the next is learn. What have I learned from students? 1. Teacher will be good listener. 2. Explain in short and clear. 3. Give examples close to them in their daily life. 4. Do not give too much homework. 5. Reveal knowledge and make the stimulate sometimes. 6. They have different style to learn and get knowledge. 7. They love real-world text, new knowledge, video more than a grammar in the books. Next is projects. I have a project, simple presentation projects. For rational, speaking or presentation is an important part of the English language that will help students know a simple step to presentation and can use the explain in their daily life. Target group. The target group is มัธยม 1/5 students, and they are 30 students in classroom. For objective, 1 student in target can practice their speaking skill by using the English language to present their surrounding thing. 2 students are satisfied with their participation project activities. This is an overview of learning English with simple presentation. Meeting and planning for project on 7 December 2021. Student post for clip in line application on 14 December 2021 to 4 January 2022. Collect the data analysis and result of the project on 11 January 2022. And the last one, course correct the project on 14 January 2022. Next, the result of the projects. 1. Students practice the speaking skill by using the English language. 2. Students are satisfied with their participation in project activities at a high level, mean equal 4.13. The topic and script of these projects. I have a topics and I have a script for all of my students. This is my student. Next topic is about research. For the research, the development of English listening comprehension lesson plan for มัธยม 1 student at Pathumvilai School. This is an overview, rational research objective, scope of research, conceptual framework, research instrument, data analysis, discussion, and the last one is suggestion. For the first part, rational. Since the semester 1 academic year 2021, it had been found some students still have a problem with listening for comprehension, so the researcher has considered it to be a significant problem that should be taken promptly to resolve. Next is research objective. 1. To study the efficacy of the lesson plan on English listening comprehension. 2. To study the learning achievement of student English listening comprehension through lesson plan. 3. To study the student satisfactions after English listening comprehension. Scope of research. There are population, content, and period of time. For population, the class of grade 7 students of Pathumvilai School in semester 2 in the academic years 2020-2021. There are 707 students. The participants were grade 7 with 10 students selected by using purposive sampling. The conceptual framework. For independent variable, using lesson plans on listening for comprehension, and independent variable, the efficacy of lesson plan on English listening comprehension, learning achievement of student English listening comprehension through lesson plan. 3. The student satisfaction English listening comprehension on English listening comprehension. Research instrument. 1. English lesson plans on listening comprehension. 2. Pre-test and post-test on listening comprehension. 3. Student satisfaction questionnaire on listening comprehension. This is my lesson plan. And this is pre-test, post-test, And the last one is student satisfaction questionnaire on listening comprehension. So the data analysis. Part 1, analysis of lesson plans on English listening comprehension E1 and E2. For Part 2, analysis learning achievements of student English listening comprehension through lesson plan, mean, standard deviation, and percentage. Part 3, analysis of student satisfaction English listening comprehension on English listening comprehension, mean, and standard deviation. For Part 1, analysis of lesson plan on English listening comprehension, the efficiency 1 or E1, I got 71, and if effectiveness of result or E2, I got 82. The lesson plan is efficient E1 and E2, 71 and 82, so it's higher than the specific criterion E1 and E2, 70 and 70. Part 2, analysis of learning achievement of student English listening comprehension through lesson plan. I test English listening comprehension for 10 students. The mean is 7.3. Standard deviation or SD is 1.79 and percentage is 73%. Part 3, analysis of student satisfaction English listening comprehension on English listening comprehension. Satisfaction mean 4.13. Standard deviation or SD is 0.85 and interpretation is more. The research result 1. The efficacy of lesson plan is effect E1 and E2, 71 and 82, which is higher than the specific criterion. 2. The learning achievement on English listening comprehension was in very good level, 82%. 3. The student had a high level of satisfaction on English listening comprehension, mean 4.13. The discussion. The lesson plan on English listening for comprehension was efficient and higher than the specific criterion due to the research has been focused on the quality of the innovation standard before it can be used in learning activities, and the lesson plan on English listening for comprehension and be improved listening skill for students in a good level. The discussion 2. The result of this research was found the student had a learning achievement of students learned by developing English listening for comprehension was developed in listening skill because the researcher had designed lesson plan and learning activity followed by the teaching process for communication that occur in each step to learning activity about listening for comprehension, and also an addition of a small part of activities to activate the target student that had a learning problem to be extremely developed according to Natkrita Lerthana Thada and Vipada Prasansap, found the achievement of English listening comprehension skill after teaching by cooperative learning on lesson plan was higher than with traditional instruction with the statistical significance at the level of 0.5. Discussion 3. The students were satisfied with learning on English listening for comprehension at the high level because the researcher has designed a learning activity that focuses on communication. In addition, the insertion being able to apply it in real life, according to Natkrita Lerthana Thada and Vipada Prasansap, found the satisfaction through cooperative learning on lesson plan was at the high level. Suggestion 1. The researcher should give more time to students who rarely get into the class. 2. The researcher should be flexible about time, real situation on that day, and the efficacy of the target group. 3. The researcher should be a coach or guide for target group to let them practice responsibility, honesty, and self-discipline to fix their problem that make them have self-confidence. For further research, 1. The researcher should study about the comparison of learning efficiency on English listening for comprehension with other learning materials, for example, e-learning, e-books. 2. The researcher should apply with other subjects and other grades at the school. 3. The researcher should improve listening skill with other language skill. Do you have any questions? Do you have any questions?
I have a question.
Okay.
What's the hardest thing that you faced at the school? Because you went to the school by yourself, right?
Yes.
Okay. Do you have any hardest thing that you faced?
Okay, thank you for the questions. The hardest thing that I faced at school on the school is, I think, ice-breaking and make it naturally when I thought, because it's the first time that I taught on site. Yes, and a various student in classroom is make me feel confused in sometimes. That's it.
Thank you so much.
Thank you too.
Yes, I have a question.
Yes, teacher.
Okay. It's about your project นะ อิงตะวัน
ค่ะ
Only one point เอาภาษาไทยแล้วกัน ถ้าพูดอังกฤษไปเดี๋ยวจะงง มันเรื่องสถิติพอดีวัตถุประสงค์หนูเขียนมามันสลับไปนิดนึงนะ เอาผลสำลิดก่อนข้อ1ข้อ2เดี๋ยวไปแก้ไขในรีพอร์ต แล้วก็ในผลการวิจัยหนูตั้งค่าประสิทธิภาพของตัวนี้นะครับ แผนการจัดการเรียนรู้เรื่องนี้ E1 และ E2 ไว้ที่70%ทั้ง2ตัว แต่หลังจากที่ได้ไปดำเนินการวิจัยกับนักเรียนกลุ่มเป้าหมายซึ่งไม่ใช่เด็กปกติถือว่าเป็นเด็กที่ไม่ผ่านเรื่องพวกนี้ก็คล้ายๆเด็กอ่อนนะลูกนะมันก็เลยได้ค่า E1 มา71%เวลาใส่อย่างเงี้ยลูกมันเป็นค่าร้อยละถึงทศนิยมตัวหลังมันจะเป็นตำแหน่งสุดท้ายมันเป็น0ก็ต้องใส่มาอย่าไปใส่ตัวเดียวพิมพ์2ตัวนะไม่ว่าจะเป็นค่าสถิติตัวอื่นนะไอ้ทศนิยมถ้ามีเช่นไล่เลยนะให้ทุกคนด้วยนะครับใครที่เผลอไหนพูดแล้วก็พูดให้จบเลยว่าของทุกคนด้วยนะครับนะค่า standard deviation ค่าเฉลี่ยนะครับแล้วก็ค่าร้อยละทศนิยมพิมพ์2ตำแหน่งหมดเลยนะครับนะโอเคทีนี้ของหนูตั้งไว้ว่าได้ค่า E1 มา 71.00 ค่า E2 คือ 82.00 พอดีเป๊ะพอดีหนูตีความว่ามันสูงกว่าเกณฑ์ที่ผู้วิจัยได้กำหนดไว้มันสูงจริงทุกแต่ว่ามันมีเกณฑ์ที่พิจารณาเพิ่มต้องกลับไปเปิดดูตอนนั้นทวนนะคือเต็มที่ยอมรับได้ว่าบวกลบไม่เกิน5ปรากฏว่า E2 เนี่ยค่า E2 บวกลบแล้วมันเกินไปตั้ง12นะลูก
ค่ะ
คือถ้าเรามองหยาบๆถ้าเราจะปรับไอ้ค่าประสิทธิภาพของเราจาก E1 E2 เดิมเป็น70ถ้าเราจะปรับเป็น75มันก็เกินอยู่ดีในตัว E2 แต่ E1 มันยอมรับได้
ค่ะ
หนูไปดูคะแนนตรงนั้นใหม่ไปไล่คำนวณนิดหนึ่งยังมีเวลาหายใจเพราะว่างานที่จะส่งวิจัยนะคนอื่นก็เหมือนกันนะครับแล้วเรื่องการตีความในเรื่องของการมีประสิทธิภาพค่าประสิทธิภาพที่หาเนี่ยก็คือบวกลบไม่เกิน5ถ้ามันพลาดนะแต่ว่าถ้าเผื่อว่าตัวใดตัวหนึ่งต่ำกว่าแต่ไม่เกิน5หรือสูงกว่าไม่เกิน5นะก็จะพูดว่าสูงกว่าเกณฑ์ไม่ได้ให้ใช้คำว่าเป็นไปตามเกณฑ์หรือทั้ง2ตัวต่ำกว่าเกณฑ์ E1 E2 ที่ตั้งไว้แต่มันไม่เกิน5อย่าไปพิมพ์อย่าไปตีความว่ามันต่ำกว่าเกณฑ์ให้ใช้คำว่าเป็นไปตามเกณฑ์เขาก็มีเรื่องบาลีสรุปก็คือมีเป็นไปตามเกณฑ์กับสูงกว่าเกณฑ์แต่ถ้าไม่เป็นไปตามเกณฑ์มันก็คือไม่มีประสิทธิภาพบรรลุตามค่าตรงจุดนี้ไปรีวิวตัวนั้นทบทวนนิดนึงครับคนอื่นด้วยเหมือนกันจะได้ไปแก้ไขในส่วนที่เป็นอันที่1บทคัดย่อนะครับอันที่2ก็ตรงที่เราสรุปผลการวิจัยอย่างในบทที่ในบทที่4ที่วิเคราะห์ผลไงที่วิเคราะห์ผลมันจะมีวิเคราะห์ค่าประสิทธิภาพตอนอภิปรายใต้ตารางจะได้แก้ไขตรงนั้นแล้วก็ในบทที่3ในบทที่5ตรงสรุปผลการวิจัยนะครับรวมทั้ง ในมิติของการอภิปรายผลการวิจัยด้วยเพราะมันจะต้องพูดถึงตรงนี้ใช่ไหมครับไประมัดระวังตรงจุดนี้นะส่วนตรงอื่นๆที่คนที่บางคนที่เขาไม่ได้หาค่าประสิทธิภาพขออีกนิดนึงกันไหนๆก็ไหนๆแล้วพูดให้จบว่าทำไมมันจะได้เป็นประโยชน์กับน้องๆที่ฟังถ้าเผื่อตรงจุดนั้นพวกเราใช้รูปแบบวิธีการหรือเป็นนวัตกรรมที่เอามาใช้แล้วเราสร้างสรรค์เอาเองเนี่ยสิ่งที่ครูเคยย้ำกับทุกคนไปว่าที่เคยให้หาค่าประสิทธิภาพเนื่องจากว่ามันเป็นสิ่งที่เราคิดค้นขึ้นมาใหม่และมันจะทำนายผลในอนาคตเมื่อพวกเราต้องออกไปเป็นครูสอนภาษาอังกฤษแล้วคนที่อยู่ในระบบราชการที่จะต้องมีวิทยาฐานะสูงขึ้นเพราะว่าจากการที่ครูได้ติดตามแล้วก็ประสานแล้วก็พูดคุยกันในวงการตรงจุดนี้ของทีมผู้ทรงคุณวุฒิน่ะที่เขาอ่านผลงานของครูเนี่ยเขาก็ยังอยากจะดูว่าไอ้สิ่งที่คุณคิดค้นถึงจะช่วยเด็กกลุ่มเหล่านี้ไม่เยอะเนี่ยเพราะมันคืองานวิชาการที่เขาส่งวิทยาฐานะสูงขึ้นกันเนี่ยเขาอยากเห็นคุณภาพว่ามีจริงมากน้อยแค่ไหนเพราะฉะนั้นมันก็ควรที่จะต้องมีประสิทธิภาพของตัวนี้ด้วยแต่ถ้าเผื่อใครไปเอาเช่นบางคนบอกใช้ Quizzes เนาะบางคนใช้ Live Worksheet หรืออะไรต่างๆเนี่ยที่มันสำเร็จรูปไปเอามาจากแอปพลิเคชันหรือโปรแกรมต่างๆอยู่แล้วเนี่ยบางทีบางครั้งตรงนั้นเราก็อาจจะไม่จำเป็นที่จะต้องหาประสิทธิภาพตรงนั้นเลยถ้าเป็นเรื่องของนวัตกรรมพวกนั้นแต่ถ้าเผื่อเป็นการทำโดยตรงจุดนี้แล้วเราก็มีแผนการทำตรงจุดนี้โดยประยุกต์เอาโปรแกรมนั้นมาใช้หรือมาใช้ตรงนี้ก็ควรจะฝึกไว้ให้มันเป็นพื้นฐานอันนี้ไม่ถึงว่าถ้าเราทำเต็มวิจัยรูปแบบแล้ววางรากฐานไปสู่อนาคตที่จะเข้าสู่ลู่วิ่งของวิทยาฐานะที่สูงขึ้นหรืออาจจะไปเรียนต่อปริญญาโทที่เกี่ยวกับทางด้านการสอนนะครับแต่ถ้าอยู่ในโรงเรียนทำวิจัยเล็กๆเบาๆไม่ได้เป็นรูปแบบ5 บทเพราะโรงเรียนทั่วๆไปที่ประเมินทั่วๆไปเขาเนี้ยเช่นประเมินเล่นเงินเดือนประเมินคงวิทยาฐานะอะไรต่างๆเนี่ยมันไม่ได้ลงลึกมากแต่เราวางแผนไว้จำได้นะที่ครูย้ำเนาะสาขาเราวางเพื่ออนาคตครูมืออาชีพถ้าตรงจุดนั้นหาแค่วัตถุประสงค์2 ข้อก็ย่อมได้ถ้านวัตกรรมพวกนั้นหรือสิ่งพวกนั้นหรืออะไรที่สำเร็จรูปพวกนั้นเอามาจากที่เขาทำมีไว้อยู่แล้วก็คงไม่ต้องไปเสียเวลาหาประสิทธิภาพนะก็จะหาในพวกความสามารถหรือแนวผลสำลิดแล้วก็ถามเอาแค่ satisfaction นั่นแหละว่ามันโอเคกับเด็กไหมแค่นั้นถาม2 ตัวก็ได้กับนั้นนี่คือเหตุผลนะก็ถือว่าทบทวนแล้วกันนะบางทีมันลืมไปแล้ว1 ปีนะลูกเนาะก็อันนี้คือสิ่งที่สาขาวางไว้ตลอดแนวให้กับพวกเราแล้วแนวโน้มไปสู่ในอนาคตพอถึงตรงนั้นเราก็จะสบายนะครับเนาะไปต่อได้โดยที่ไม่ต้องไปขัดแย้งกับใครด้วยความเข้าใจตรงนี้แต่โดยตรงนี้ based on ก็คือทำเพื่อส่วนใหญ่มันจะเป็นเด็กที่ไม่ใช่เด็กอัจฉริยะมันเป็นเด็กที่ไม่ผ่านเกณฑ์หรืออ่อนๆอะไรพวกนี้ก็เลยเหมือนกับว่าเรื่องพวกนี้ก็อาจจะเอายากเกินไปนะก็ไม่ได้ถูกไหมครับช่วยเด็กนะครับเนาะเพราะนั้นก็ฝากอิงตะวันเรื่องค่าประสิทธิภาพที่เราได้ E1 และ E2 นะกับเกณฑ์ที่ให้ไว้อาจจะต้องไปปรับดูบางตัวอาจจะมีคำนวณอะไรผิดพลาดไปปรับแก้ตัวนั้นให้เรียบร้อยแล้วไปได้แก้ไขตรงนี้คนอื่นก็เหมือนกันนะครับหันกลับไปดูงานตัวเองด้วยเพราะครูดูหลายคนมีอะไรทำแม่งอยู่เหมือนกันจะได้ไม่พลาดอีกตัวหนึ่งลูกวุฒิการศึกษาในหน้าบทคัดย่อเนี่ยนะครับตามแบบฟอร์มที่ให้ไปนะครับเนาะตำแหน่งอาจารย์อะไรต่างๆเนี่ยถ้าเป็นมีผู้มือผู้ช่วยศาสตราจารย์อะไรพวกนี้อย่างเห็นงานของอาจารย์ของใครก็ไม่รู้ที่อาจารย์ปรารถนาเนี่ยนะครับตำแหน่งของท่านคือผู้ช่วยศาสตราจารย์พิมพ์มาเต็มว่าผู้ช่วยศาสตราจารย์ปรารถนาพดุงพจน์ด็อกเตอร์ไม่ต้องใส่แต่วงเล็บข้างหลังนั่นคือความเป็นด็อกเตอร์ของท่านก็คืออยู่ที่ศึกษาศาสตร์ดุษฎีบัณฑิตก็สอศาลาสอฤษีจุดแล้วก็ดอเด็กจุดนะครับส่วนจำนวนเลขหน้าก็คือจำนวนงานวิจัยของพวกเราแต่ละคนเท่านั้นนะครับนะของใครมี57ก็57หน้าถ้างานของตัวเองมี100หน้าก็100หน้าอะไรประมาณนี้นะตรงนี้เพราะนั้นระมัดระวังตรงนี้ด้วยนะครับนะอย่าไปเผลอพิมพ์ผสจุดดรจุดบางคนก็พิมพ์อะไรไม่รู้ดูรูปแบบมันด้วยถ้างงไปเดี๋ยวครูจะส่งรูปแบบการพิมพ์ตรงนี้เข้าไปให้ดูในไลน์กลุ่มของพวกเราทั้ง2 กลุ่มอีกทีหนึ่งกันแล้วกันนะครับเนาะจะได้ไม่พลาดเรื่องบทคัดย่อการวิจัยอีสมาร์ทนะลูกจะได้ทำไม่เพี้ยนโอเคครับขอบคุณมาก
ขอบคุณค่ะอาจารย์ If you don't have any question, thank you for your attention. Please.
Okay, thank you for the real school. And next. And next, may I invite Mathayom Bachaniwe School to present. Please welcome. Are you ready?
Just a moment, please.
Just a moment please ได้ยินปะเอาโบมานี่
ปิดไมค์ปิดกล้อง
ปิดกล้องยังลูกปิดแล้วอ่ะเปิดกล้องให้หน่อยดีบ้างเห็นปะ
เดี๋ยวเขาแชร์เอง
ไม่ยืนด้วยกันได้แหละเอายังนะOkay, good morning everyone, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Mathayom Bashar University School on Internship 2. My name is Phimnada Kasensit from 5th year student of English Education at Pranakalachipat University. Please let me introduce our supervisor. Associate Professor Dr. Prathana Padungput, Dr. Silada Chenkao, and Ajahn Salanyu in Urit. For the next hour, member of Mathayom Bashar University School. Miss Tanshanok Mani Vattana, Miss Thanaporn Phachaitam. Next, Miss Pontip Hong Wingjan and Miss Achariya Thiampon. We have three main topics to present with our experience, project, and research. So let me present the first topic is experience. Learning from Mathayom Bashar University teacher. Teacher are key role model who can influence the attitude, value, and behavior of their students. Number two, as a teacher, it is impossible to not model. Your student will see your example, positive or negative, as a pattern for the way life is to be lived. Number three, teacher have patience, know how to relieve problems and be able to control one emotion both during and outside teaching hours. Be fair and make students feel comfortable. Next, learning from Mathayom Bashar University students. The way of student practicing is class learn differently. Number two, students will learn only the teacher tell them how much they need to learn. Number three, giving too much homework they don't like. And number four, students prefer listening rather than taking notes, and they like to do activities. For the next, if we are teacher in the future, we will always create learning that is appropriate for students together with inserting additional general knowledge in the lesson. We will always focus on time by attending and finishing teaching at the specified time. We will always seek knowledge and provide appropriate teaching for our students, and we will develop personality, conduct, and rate to suit the teacher profession. So next, may I invite Thanaporn Phachaitam to present about our project.
Thank you, Ms. Phimnada, for your invitation. Thank you, Ms. Phimnada, for your invitation. Next, we will talk about our project. All I Want for Christmas is You. Next. Rationale. Christmas is an annual festival commemorating the birth of Jesus, observed primarily on December 25th as a religious and cultural celebration among billions of people around the world. A survey of student participation in language activity found that some learner has a lack of the motivation to participate in activity. The project organizer has an opinion to establish All I Want for Christmas is You project to encourage learners to participate in English and cultural activity Christmas Day. In order to solve the problem and develop communication skill in learning culture of native speaker, which will be promoted to increase the student achievement. 2. Target group. Our target group are Mathayom 4, Room 5 and 6 students, around 77 participants. 3. Objectives. To develop learners good at writing and using English for communication. To promote learners to understanding English and cultural Christmas Day. And to study the satisfaction of students according to the All I Want for Christmas is You project. 4. Overview of learning English with All I Want for Christmas is You project. Plan. Meeting and planning for the project on the 1st to 14th of December 2021. Do. Prepare document used in the implementation of the project on 15 to 16 of December 2021. Check. Collected the data analysis and result of the project on the 22nd of December 2021 to 10 January 2022. Act. Course corrected the project on the 11th to 13 January 2022. And 5. Results. Students who participate in their project for all 4 group students, the results of work evaluation were at a very good level. Percentage average score was 85.3. Student satisfaction with participation in All I Want for Christmas project for Mathayom Siksa 4 at a high level, mean score equal 4.45. Next, may I invite Miss Pontip to talk about the next topic.
Thank you, Ms. Thanaporn Pachatham, for your invitation. The third topic is research. Our research is using programbooklet.com to improve grammar achievement in the present simple tense of the 8th grade students. A case study of Mathayom Prachaniwet School in academic year 2021. This research is from Pinnada Kasemsit-Chaikun. Next. Next, we will talk about overview. Number 1 is rationals. Number 1 is rational. Students in Mathayom Siksa 2/9, Mathayom Prachaniwet School, academic year 2021. First is, some students still use the present simple tense incorrectly. Second is, some students cannot use the correct structure according to the language structure correctly. And the last one is, the lesson is that some students are confused about the subject-verb agreement and changing the present simple tense into negative and question sentences. Next, number 2 is research objectives. First one is to study English grammatical achievement of students on present simple tense by using programbooklet.com. Second is to study the effectiveness of present plan by using programbooklet.com used as a teaching on present simple tense. The last one is to study the students' satisfaction with learning English on present simple tense by using programbooklet.com. Next, number 3 is scope of the research. Population and samples. The sample used was 7 Mathayom Siksa 2/9 students. Next, content is about present simple tense, and the last one is periods of time is December to January. Next, number 4 is conceptual framework. Using programbooklet.com on present simple tense lesson plans. The first is the English grammatical achievement of students
learn present simple tense by using program booklet.com. Second is the efficacy of using program booklet.com used as a teaching on present simple tense. The last one is questionnaire for students' satisfaction towards learning of present simple tense. Okay, next, may I invite Ms. Acharya Tiampon to present the next topic.
Thank you, Ms. Pontipong Wenjan, for your invitation. This topic is research instrument. We have 3 research instruments. The first is using program booklet.com on present simple tense lesson plans. The second is achievement test on present simple tense. And the last is questionnaire for student satisfaction towards learning of present simple tense. Next, data analysis. Part 1. Analysis of English grammatical achievement of students on present simple tense by using program booklet.com, by using mean, standard deviation, and percentage. Part 2. Analysis of the efficacy using program booklet.com used as a teaching on present simple tense by using learning process efficiency and effectiveness of the result. Part 3. Analysis of student satisfaction towards learning on present simple tense by using mean and standard deviation. Next, Part 1. Now, let's look at the table. This table shows the English grammatical achievement of students on present simple tense by using program booklet.com. The total score is 80%. Part 2. This table shows analysis of the efficacy using program booklet.com used as a teaching on present simple tense. The column of learning process efficiency is 80.95 and effectiveness of the result is 80. Next, Part 3. This table shows analysis of student satisfaction towards learning on present simple tense. The student has a high level of satisfaction toward learning of present simple tense by using program booklet.com. Mean equal to 4.50. Next, research result. First, the English grammatical achievement of students learn present simple tense by using program booklet.com was in a very high level. Percentage average score was 80. Second, the efficacy of using program booklet.com used as a teaching on present simple tense was efficient 80.95 per 80, which was higher than the specified criterion. And the last, the student had a high level of satisfaction toward learning of present simple tense by using program booklet.com, mean equal to 4.50. Next, may I invite Ms. Thanchanok Manivathana to present the next topic. Please welcome.
Thank you, Ms. Acharya Tiampon, for my invitations. Next, number 8, discussions related to research result. Number 1, the English grammatical achievement tool students learned present simple tense by using program booklet.com was in a very high level. Percentage average score was 80.00 because researchers determined the objectives of for what need to be learned, creating new learning based on objectives, and validate new learning by analyzing, summarizing, and presenting the knowledge in order to make use of knowledge. According to the research result of Pathari Sirimon, 2015, research on improving English grammar skill by using writing skill practice of grade 12 students. Next, number 2, the efficacy of lesson plan by using program booklet.com used as a teaching on present simple tense was efficient 80.95 and 80.00, which was established the specific criterion because the inter-study test of 7 students in มัธยมศึกษา 2/9 is easier than the post-test. Furthermore, students have increased English grammar skill on present simple tense, understanding the grammatical structure, and be able to write a sentence and speak correctly according to the principle of the language as well. Next, number 3. The student had a higher level of satisfaction through the learning of present simple tense by using program bookcat.com, mean equal 4.50. Students are encouraged and guided by the advantage as interest in learning English, and when they are satisfied the tasks or activities designed to improve their English grammar skill on present simple tense, use the bookcat.com applications. Students will be successful in learning English, consistent with the finding of Siri Leslie 2017 research on using the Padlet application to improve English writing skills for students who not study English. Next, it is suggestion. The firstly is general suggestion. Before learning activities, students should be able to understand the procedure and method of activities, objectives, and achieve their learning objectives. And the second one is the preparation of the lesson plan should include tasks or activities that are appropriate to the ability or interest of students. Next, the further research. The further research should be conducted focusing on application or activities to improve language in other skills such as listening and speaking skill. And also the research period should be increased time to students for practicing the activity. That's all of my presentation. So do you have any questions or recommendations? If you have, you can unmute your microphone and ask us. If you don't have any questions, thank you for all of you for your attentions.
Okay, thank you, มัธยมประชานิเวศ School. And next,
Sorry, wait a minute. Sorry, wait a minute.
okay, thank you.
yes อ้าวไม่ทันแล้ว
อาจารย์จะถามไหมคะ
นิดเดียวถามคำถามเอาอย่างไวแล้วกันนะในบทคัดย่อนะผลข้อที่2นะลูก
ค่ะ
ประสิทธิภาพอะลูก
ค่ะ
อีกตัวหนึ่งมันพอดีเป๊ะอีกตัวหนึ่งมันสูงขึ้นมันนิดหน่อยแล้วจะพิจารณามันว่ายังไงบังเอิญมันเป็นเคสที่ใหม่เข้ามามันสูงถ้าสูงกว่าเกณฑ์คือมันสูงทั้งคู่อีกตัวพอดีอีกตัวหนึ่งมันสูงกว่านิดนึงไม่ถึง1แต่เป็นจุดทศนิยมตั้งเกณฑ์ไว้ที่เท่าไหร่ครับ E1
ตั้งเกณฑ์ไว้ที่80ค่ะ
นี่ E2 มัน80พอดีเนาะ E1 สูงกว่านิดหน่อยจะบอกว่าสูงกว่าเกณฑ์ที่กำหนดมันใช่ไหมลูกมันมีงอแงง
มัน
เป็นไปตามเกณฑ์ก็แล้วกันลูกแก้ไขให้เป็นไปตามเกณฑ์นะครับแค่นั้นแหละครับเพราะว่ามันมีแหลมเข้ามาคิดไม่ถึงว่าจะเจอนะ
พอดีว่าตอนแรกหนูเข้าใจว่าจะต้องมากกว่าแค่บวกลบ 0.5 ค่ะหนูก็เลยคิดว่ามันน่าจะเป็นสูงกว่า
เอาลืมไปแล้วเหรอบวกลบ 0.5 ไปอ่านเอกสารดูใหม่ลูก
เพื่อนสับสนกันนิดหน่อยค่ะ
โอเคครับโอเคตรงนี้นะครับกันพลาดขอบคุณลูก
ขอบคุณค่ะ
โอเค May I invite มัธยมสาธิตวัดพระศรีมหาธาตุ
Yeah, please.
Rajapat Panakkar University School. Please welcome.
Thank you. Thank you for your invitation.
Just a moment, please. Okay, let me share our slide. Wait a minute. Where is my PowerPoint? Okay. So, wait. DEJ. Just a moment, please. DJIOMRHF. Okay. Okay, let's start.
Okay, good morning, students.
Wait, students?
That's such a show. Okay. Okay, it's a pleasure to be here with you guys. Today we are going to take a look at our school. Let's go.
Okay.
วัดพระศรีมหาธาตุ Secondary Demonstration School พระนครราชภัฏ University. But first, let us introduce ourselves. I am พัชรัตน์น้อยใหม่
And my name is พัฒนีจงสุขกายใจ
So we are proud to present our supervisor อาจารย์สุมิตราพันกุลบดี Today we have three main topics to present, which are the experience at the school, the wonderful project, and the classroom research. So here's the right time to go with what we have learned from being the teacher. May I invite Ms. Patani to present the topic?
Thank you so much, Mr. Pachara. Actually, we have many things that we learned from being the teachers, but today we summarize in 6 points. The first one is we have learned to be adaptable. Okay, my PowerPoint. Is this work? Okay. It's broken? Okay. The second one is be punctual. Third, be active at learning. Fourth, be calm. Fifth, be fun as well as academic. And the last one is we have also had a great friendship and teamwork. So if we are the teachers in the future, we will never left anyone behind and find the appropriate approaches to apply with each student, get more input, tell the students to stop bullying and compliment more, and the last one, never tell the students no, but will show them the way. So next topic, may I invite Mr. Patara to present?
Thank you. So we learn from being the teacher, right? And we also learn from our beloved student too. Yeah, we have learned how to spell happiness, right? We have learned that the teacher should know all of the things that they love, like games or songs. And we know that they love expressing what they like to a teacher. Okay, so now we will go to the project. Okay, our project will be presented by Ms. Patani.
Okay, thank you so much. So this is our project. It's called Gen Z, Gen Y, Gen ไหนๆก็ควรรู้ This is our poster. It is so cool, right? And our project advisors, they are อาจารย์สุมิตราพันกุลบดี and อาจารย์ธุลีรัตน์ลำนาค So this is a project working group. And our rationale is at present time, English language is very important for communication, education, or occupation, right? And the idiom is an essential part because the native speaker use it in every day, and it can make the sentence more elaborate and also reduce the length of sentence to make it easy to understand.
So here are the target group, right? There are 366 Mathayom 1, 2, 3 students, and the objectives are to publish the additional knowledge in the form of the video and to educate the students at any time and any place. Okay, so this is the table showing our overview of the project. First, we were planning it in the November to December 2021. Then we began posting our online projects on Google Classroom and YouTube in December 2021 to January 2022. The students can watch our video about the idioms and do the test we sent. Next, we analyze the data in January 2022. And the last step, we were discussing the feedback and the problem during the project in January 2022 as well. So these are the results. First, there are 366 students participating, which is 70.65%. Second, the students can apply the knowledge, the idioms, right, with their learning and present with the other students. Okay, so now we are at the research. May I invite Ms. Patani to present this topic.
Thank you so much, Mr. Pachala. This is my research. It's called The Effect of Quizzes on Attitude Towards Learning English of Grade 7 Students. วัดพระศรีมหาธาตุ Secondary Demonstration School, Panakhon Ratchapat University. So these are my overview. Okay, let's go for the first one. Rational. From the observation teaching in the first semester, it was hard for students to pay attention and didn't want to learn if it was a teacher center, and my school was 100 online class. So we didn't need any students. And after my observation, students participate in my class, especially when I use quizzes, because it was like a competition and had rank. So it made students more fun. So the researcher therefore thought that quizzes would help to promote their attitudes, especially for students who had weak English skills. It would help make them more interested in English. And this is my objective. I have only one objective. It was to study the effect of using quizzes program on student attitude towards learning English. Actually, I have two objectives. The second one was to analyze efficacy of lesson plan, but teacher Chaidet and teacher Sumita advised me that this objective isn't related with my research, so you can cut it off, and that's why I have only one objective. And the scope of the research, the first one is population was มัธยมศึกษา one student, and my samples were 1/1 students. So the content, I bought it from this book, Exploring Reading and Writing Level 1, and then copy it in the quizzes. And the last one is period of time. I began in November 2021 to January 2022. So my independent variable was applying quizzes in English for reading and writing. And my dependent variable was attitude towards learning English for reading and writing by using quizzes program. So my research instrument, I have only one too. It was questionnaire assessing student attitude towards learning English. And this is my questionnaire assessing students' attitude. I had to see that. Can you see that? Number 1 and number 3. For number 1, ข้าพเจ้ามีความสุขเมื่อได้เรียนภาษาอังกฤษ and number 3 was การเรียน การเรียนวิชาภาษาอังกฤษเป็นสิ่งที่น่าเบื่อ so if you want to survey someone's attitude the questionnaire the information in the questionnaire will be contrasted like this is a survey for their attitude it's like this and data analysis I used mean standard deviation and percentage and calculate them all by using Microsoft Excel. So my research result was after I applied quizzes to Mathayom Siksa 1/1 students, it was found that their attitudes toward learning English were improved in better way. Look at this. This is a percentage of my students. And this one. Attitude before using quizzes, you see that X bar, it was 3.94, but the attitude after I using quizzes, it was 4.16. I can say that the quizzes improve students' attitude in better and better way. So my discussion, so the result of this research was found that quizzes motivated the interest of students. As Maestro had summarized that the competitive game would encourage the students to answer and participate the content. Also, there were many options like memes, resurrection, review the answer immediately, getting extra points of time, and decreasing competition's points. As Surya S. and Patolo B. had studied that quizzes was an interesting tool in increasing student confidence and encouraging learning motivation. So my general suggestion to you, the first one is the teacher should consider the students' devices at first. Second, the teacher should check their mode of quizzes before playing. And the teacher should have the optional worksheet for students who cannot play or cannot join the quizzes. And the last suggestion for the further researcher. The first one is the researcher should focus on what quizzes is used for testing or reviewing the lesson. Second, the ranking is not enough to encourage, so the researcher should have other rewards as well. And the last one, if the researcher wants to summarize for the large population, the researcher should study ability to learn English with 2 sample groups, which are the controlled group and the experimental group, and then compare the achievement between the groups. So this is our presentation. Do you have any questions?
Yes, I have.
Yes, please.
โอเคคงต้องขออนุญาตใช้ภาษาไทยไม่เช่นนั้นเดี๋ยวไม่เคลียร์กันอีก Okay, from the was okay, no? From your presentation, but one thing about the classroom English, classroom action research นะหรือว่างานวิจัยของเราตามฟิลของเราเนาะ
ค่ะ
ฟังกันทั้งคู่นะครับถามว่าวิจัยเชิงปฏิบัติการในชั้นเรียนนี้นะหรือที่เรียกย่อกันทั่วๆไปว่าวิจัยในชั้นเรียนเนี่ยมันเป็นอะไรที่ทำได้2ลักษณะมันก็ทำได้ทั้งเชิงปริมาณก็ได้หรือคุณภาพก็ได้ในฟิลทั่วไปอันนี้คนอื่นฟังไว้ด้วยนะครับกำลังจะจบแล้วไปที่โรงเรียนจะได้ไม่ mix เขาเรียกอะไร mix concept ทีนี้ถามว่าในชีวิตของการเป็นครูผู้สอนไม่ว่าคุณจะสอนช่วงชั้นใดกลุ่มสาระการเรียนรู้ใดหรือเลเวลใดไม่ว่าจะเป็นระดับก่อนประถมแล้วก็ระดับการศึกษาขั้นพื้นฐานซึ่งก็คือประถมและมัธยมแม้กระทั่งปวชรวมทั้งของกศนไม่ว่าจะอยู่ภาครัฐหรือเอกชนวิจัยเชิงปฏิบัติการในชั้นเรียนเนี่ยก็จะมีความเข้าใจที่แตกต่างกันไปค่อนข้างมากแต่ของฟิลเราเนี่ยที่จะให้ชัดเจนที่สุดก็คือทั้งฟิลเราหรือเอกอื่นหรือกลุ่มสาระการเรียนรู้ต่างๆเนี่ยของเราเนี่ยมันเป็นวิจัยเพื่อแก้ไขปัญหาการเรียนรู้ของผู้เรียนใช่พฤติกรรมก็เป็นปัญหาแต่ถามว่าการใช้แค่แบบสอบถามไปแก้ไขได้เหรอคำตอบมันไม่ใช่ ถ้าจะพูดกันแบบเอาให้กว้างๆชัดๆนะซึ่งย้ำมาโดยตลอด1 ปีที่ผ่านมานั่นก็คือสิ่งที่เราต้องรับผิดชอบในตรงจุดนี้แต่ต้องเป็นขาที่1หรือตัวที่สำคัญเป็นเมนหลักหัวใจของมันก็คือในเรื่องของตัวทางด้านภาษาเนี่ยนะไม่ว่าจะเป็นทางด้าน phonology syntax semantics นะหรือ grammar เบาๆง่ายๆไอ้ตระกูล syntax หรืออะไรต่างๆเนี่ยรวมทั้งไอ้4 สกิลอะนะ4ทักษะเนี่ยสิ่งเหล่านี้มันคือหัวใจของเราเพียงแต่มันแบ่งย่อยไปอยู่ว่าช่วงชั้นไหนเรียนอะไรแล้วมันแตกกับมาตรฐานตัวไหนตัวชี้วัดตัวไหนซึ่งมันจะออกมาในภาพรวมที่เราจะรู้ก็คือคอนเทนต์หรือสาระทางภาษาอังกฤษเนื้อหานั่นแหละไอ้ที่ใช้คำนี้อยู่ส่วนเรื่องของพฤติกรรมนะครับพวก behavior หรือตัวแปลทางด้านจิตวิทยาตัวอื่นๆนะมันก็เป็นตัวสำคัญแต่ถ้าเผื่อพิจารณาปัญหาการเรียนรู้ที่เกิดขึ้นในห้องเรียนนั่นก็คือสิ่งที่คุณครูได้สอนอะไรไปจากการเรียนรู้อะไรไปแล้วเด็กมันไม่ใช่ว่าทั้งห้องจะผ่านอันนี้สมมติถ้าลงแค่ห้องเดียวเนี่ยนะเรามันไม่ได้ห้องเดียวผ่านมันไม่ได้แค่ทั้งห้องผ่านมันก็จะมีบางคนที่หลุดเล็ดลอดไปนะเพราะอย่างแบ่งเด็กเนี่ยเพราะสิ่งนี้ถือว่าเคยสอนเคยบอกแล้วก็เคยย้ำกันมาแล้วเด็กเนี่ยภาพรวมในห้องเรียนหนึ่งเนี่ยทั่วไปเนี่ยก็คือจะมีเด็กกลุ่มเก่งกลุ่มปานกลางแล้วก็กลุ่มอ่อนกลุ่มเก่งนี่ก็อาจจะมีเด็กอัจฉริยะเด็กปัญญาเลิศหรือพวก talented หรือ gifted child เนี่ยหลงอยู่กลุ่มเหล่านี้มันก็เป็นตัวปัญหาเหมือนกันเพราะไอ้สิ่งที่คุณครูสอนไปตามปกติเขารู้และเพราะเขาไปได้ไกลแต่ถ้ากลุ่มอ่อนๆเนี่ยก็มักจะไม่ผ่านการเรียนรู้อะไรพวกนี้ดังนั้นถ้าเผื่อบอกว่านิสัยเด็กไม่ชอบส่งการบ้านมันก็เป็นเหตุผลทางจิตวิทยาก็สามารถอ้างได้การบ้านในทุกสาระในทุกกลุ่มการเรียนรู้นะเป็นการบ้านในทุกวิชาเลยดังนั้นถามว่าจะแก้ไขปัญหาแล้วเอาบอกว่าเรามาอ้างว่าอันนี้คืองานวิจัยเชิงแบบการในชั้นเรียนของภาษาอังกฤษคำตอบมันไม่ถูกต้องครูกำลังพูดให้หนูเข้าใจนะว่าวิจัยทำผิดทางไม่ปรึกษานะครับเพราะนั้นของหนูตัวนี้ที่ว่าเด็กมันขาดแรงจูงใจนะหนูเอาควิสไปหรืออะไรต่างๆแล้วบอกอันเนี้ยมันก็เหมือนกับ Google Form เป็นแค่แบบสอบถามมันเซอร์เวย์แต่ถ้าถามว่าอันนี้ทำไปเพื่อให้รู้ว่ามันชัดเจนว่ามันใช่ปัญหาจริงๆแล้วสาเหตุจากพวกนี้จริงๆเนี่ยแล้วจะทำอย่างไรล่ะที่นั้นโดยคอนเทนต์พวกนี้มันมีปัญหาบ้างแสดงว่าถ้าเด็กพวกนี้นั่นของหนูเนี่ยที่ครูฟังดูมันเหมือนกับว่าเรียนภาษาอังกฤษอะไรก็ไม่รู้เรื่องอะไรสักอย่างมันตายไปหมดเลยเพราะว่าเรื่องตัวเนี้ยไอตัวที่ว่าเป็นปัญหาเนี่ยในเรื่องของแรงจูงใจหรืออะไรพวกเนี้ยมันหายไปถามว่ามันได้ไหมถ้าเป็นครูที่สอนทำบทบาทในหน้าที่ของครูแนวในโรงเรียนเรื่องพวกนี้คุณก็ทำได้คุณจะจับกลุ่มสาระอะไรก็ได้โดยเอาเรื่องของปัญหาทางจิตวิทยาทางพฤติกรรมที่แสดงออกเรื่องของนิสัยหรือคุณทำในบทบาทของครูที่ปรึกษาคุณทำได้นะครูประจำชั้นทำได้หรือครูที่ทำงานได้พวกกิจกรรมพัฒนาผู้เรียนหรือเล่นทักษะชีวิตหรือเรื่องระบบการดูแลช่วยเหลือนักเรียนที่มันเป็นโปรเจกต์อะไรต่างๆคุณทำประเด็นนั้นได้เพราะมันจะช่วยในทุกกลุ่มสาระให้เด็กมันขยันเรียนตั้งใจเรียนมีแรงจูงใจใฝ่สำลิดเพราะนั้นถามว่าถ้าเผื่อคนอื่นจะไปทำในวิชาอื่นนะก็เอางานวิจัยของหนูไปทำกลุ่มสาระการเรียนรู้อื่นกิจกรรมอื่นแม้กระทั่งอนุบาลเพราะนั้นสิ่งที่ให้ทำไปตรงนั้นเพราะต่อยอดเตรียมตัวพวกเราสู่อนาคตหลังจากจบไปไม่ว่าคุณจะเป็นครูอาชีพไม่อาชีพแต่ตอนนี้เกณฑ์ใหม่มันมาแล้วตามที่ครูเคยบอกว่าตั้งแต่ปีที่แล้วไม่ว่าครูประถมมัธยมไม่ว่าจะเป็นภาครัฐเอกชนหรืออะไรต่างๆเนี่ยเขาก็ดูเกณฑ์นี้กันเขาอิงกันแล้วเขาเริ่มใช้กันแล้วเนี่ยตั้งแต่1 ตุลาคมที่ผ่านมาถามว่าถ้าจะประเมินกันในโรงเรียนทั่วๆไปนะประเมินในโรงเรียนทั่วๆไปเพราะนี่คือ error ที่เกิดขึ้นกับครูผู้สอนในทุกกลุ่มสาระในประเทศไทยค่อนข้างมากยังไม่ชัดเลยว่าตัวเองให้งานวิจัยเชิงปฏิบัติการในชั้นเรียนนี่มันคืออะไรยังไงนะครับปัญหามันเกิดไงมันก็เลยแบบว่าถ้าพากันจูงก็จูงไปผิดที่เลยนะมันจะไม่ลงคอนเซ็ปต์นะมันไม่ได้เป็นวิจัยทางวิชาชีพครูผู้สอนภาษาอังกฤษอย่าง 100% มันพอจะเกี่ยวพันกันอยู่บ้างถ้าหนูถ้าจำได้ว่าสิ่งที่ย้ำไปแล้วว่าไปค้นหาปัญหาว่ามันมีปัญหาอะไรจากการที่เราสอนตามปกติและมีเรื่องอะไรบ้างขอให้นึกภาพตอนสมัยไป practicum 2แล้วลงไปทดลองสอนแล้วให้รายงานการสอนรายงานผลการทดลองสอนถ้านึกภาพนั้นออกไฟล์ครูยังเก็บไว้อยู่ส่งทุกคนนะครับเอามาเปิดอ่าน แล้วก็มันจะสะท้อนว่าอ๋อในการสอนแต่ละครั้งแต่ละเรื่องหรืออะไรก็ตามเนี่ยตามคอนเทนต์นั้นหรืออะไรเนี่ยหรือแอคทิวิตี้นั้นหรือพวกสกิลนั้นเนี่ยเด็กใดบ้างไม่ผ่านเรื่องพวกนี้นั่นคือปัญหาแล้วมันมีสาเหตุมาจากอะไรก็วิเคราะห์หาสาเหตุประมาณ3สาเหตุแล้วแต่สาเหตุแต่ละสาเหตุหาแนวทางแก้ไขปัญหาอะไรยังไงจะด้วยวิธีการอย่างไรคำว่าวิธีการนี่แหละเพื่อให้ต้นตอคือปัญหานั้นเคลียร์ออกไปปัญหาการเรียนรู้ภาษาอังกฤษปัญหาการเรียนรู้ภาษาอังกฤษเพราะสุดท้ายจริงๆที่ใช้กันอยู่ทุกวันนี้ที่ครูเขาจะดูกันหรืออะไรกันต่างเนี่ยในวิชาชีพครูที่ส่งทำงานเชี่ยวชาญแม้กระทั่งชำนาญการในบางพื้นที่ในบางเขตพื้นที่เขาเอาเข้มนะเหมือนปริญญาโทก็มีแต่ถึงตอนนี้เกณฑ์มันจะผ่านไปว่าไม่เน้นเอกสารแต่รูปแบบการงานหรือ process กระบวนการมันยังเป็นอย่างนั้นต้องขออนุญาตใช้เวลาตัวนี้นิดนึงเพราะว่าน้องก็ฟังกันอยู่ด้วยนะมันจะเป็นอะไรที่เราต้องเคลียร์เดี๋ยวนี้ถ้าส่งทางผลงานทางวิชาการวันหนึ่งข้างหน้าไม่รู้จะส่งเชี่ยวชาญหรืออะไรต่างๆเพราะว่าในส่วนของส่งชำนาญการพิเศษที่เรียกว่าครูคศ3เนี่ยมันก็ยังเลือดผสมกันอยู่มันก็แล้วแต่กรรมการถึงทั้งเพราะสุดท้ายจริงๆคนทำประเมินก็ต้องส่งเปเปอร์ครูเชื่อว่าไงก็ต้องส่งเปเปอร์ทั้งที่เขาเน้นแล้วว่าไม่ต้องอ่ะแต่ครูเชื่อว่าต้องมีเพราะฉะนั้นในความเป็นจุดนี้เขาจะดูว่าเฮ้ยคุณแก้ไขปัญหาการเรียนรู้ภาษาอังกฤษอันเดียวกันไปแก้ไขปัญหาพฤติกรรมอ้าวมันไม่ใช่จิตวิทยามันไม่เกี่ยวกับจิตวิทยาที่จะเอามาเป็นพระเอกนางเอกแต่มันจะเป็นตัวที่รองลงไปมันเป็นตัวสาเหตุแล้วจะทำไงให้ไอ้ตรงจุดนี้เพราะฉะนั้นถ้าสอนแบบเด็กมีความสุขคำว่ามีความสุขมันก็ต้องหากิจกรรมหารูปแบบวิธีอะไรต่างๆเพื่อที่จะให้ไอ้คอนเทนต์พวกนั้นมันผ่านเพราะถ้าคอนเทนต์พวกนั้นหรือสกิลพวกนั้นไม่ผ่านมันก็ไปต่อไม่ได้เพราะสุดท้ายภาษาอังกฤษเราต้องการเนเจอร์ของมันจริงคือเรื่องของการใช้ภาษามีทักษะทางภาษาเพื่อที่จะเอาไปใช้ในการสื่อสารหรือจะอะไรก็ว่าไปคำว่าสื่อสารมีทั้งฟังพูดอ่านเขียนถูกไหมลูกเพราะฉะนั้นบอกได้เลยว่าวิจัยตัวนี้ผิดคอนเซปต์แล้วไปส่งผลงานทางวิชาการเขาก็ไม่ให้ผ่านนะครับให้ตีตกแต่ถ้าจบอยู่ที่ในโรงเรียนที่ในโรงเรียนก็ไม่รู้กับเราเนาะมันแค่ประเมินเพื่อผ่านการเลื่อนเงินเดือนทุก6 เดือนแต่ประเมินคงวิทยาฐานะไอ้นี่ครูไม่รู้แต่คงวิทยาฐานะมันคือตั้งแต่ชำนาญการเป็นต้นไปบรรจุ5 ปีแรกเนี่ยมันจะเป็นอะไรที่อยู่ข้างในตรงนั้นแต่ถามว่าตรงเนี้ยพลาดถ้าหนูใช้วิธีการสอนรู้ทำไงก็ดีไซน์อย่างที่ครูบอกว่าคีย์ไม่รู้ทำไงก็เรื่องนี้ไม่ผ่านสมมุติในเรื่องของอย่างที่เพื่อนๆเขาแนะนำเสนอการสอนอะไรต่างๆเรื่องพวกนั้นเขาไม่ผ่านเนี่ยครูก็ย้ำให้ใช้แนวนั้นดีกว่าง่ายที่สุดเพราะมันไม่ได้วิจัยใหญ่โตแต่อย่าลืมว่าอันนี้เป็นประเภทการวิจัยย่อยแต่มันคือวิชาชีพชั้นสูงของครูผู้สอนภาษาอังกฤษของกลุ่มสาระการเรียนรู้อื่นเขาก็มีของเขาเหมือนกันที่จริงแล้วฟอร์แมตเดียวกันนี่แหละมันต่างลงไปแค่ตรงนั้นนี่คือการที่บอกว่าเวลาเรียนเนี่ยต้องเอาความรู้ในเกี่ยวกับทางด้านอะไรบ้างวิชาชีพครูเรียนอะไรมาวิชาเอกเรียนอะไรมาทางการสอนเรียนอะไรมาเอามาหล่อหลอมกันแล้วออกมาเป็นตัวครูถ้าเธอได้ปรึกษาครูสักนิดหรือถามครูมาแต่แรกนะครูคงจะสกัดดาวรุ่งตรงนี้ได้บ้างว่าทำตรงนี้หนูทำแบบไม่ผิดหรอกวิจัยแต่ไงมันไม่ใช่สิ่งที่หนูจะแก้ไขว่าเฮ้ยแล้วหนูสรุปคือถ้าหนูบอดเรื่องการสอนเรื่องของ demonstrative เนี่ยหนูก็ไม่รู้หาวิธีแก้กับเด็กอะไรได้ยังไงเพราะวันหนึ่งข้างหน้าเราก็ไม่รู้ว่าจะเจอเด็กแบบไหนอะไรยังไงและผลของการวิจัยตัวนี้ที่ได้ทำแบบเนี้ยเพราะมันเป็น action research เนี่ยมันกึ่งทดลองแต่จริงๆก็เลยเป็นปฏิบัติการเนี่ยเพราะมันทั้งปนกันทั้งเชิงทดลองด้วยแล้วมีอะไรต่างๆที่เข้ามาเกี่ยวข้องเนี่ยเราจะเห็นภาพว่าอ๋อเราพัฒนาวิชาชีพในการสอนเนี่ยมันมีอะไรมันจะต้องใช้อะไรบ้างจะใช้สื่อหรือจะใช้นวัตกรรมหรือจะใช้เดี๋ยวนี้นะมันก็มีพวกเทคโนโลยีใหม่ๆเอามาเนี่ยจะประยุกต์แบบไหนอะไรอย่างไรถ้าครูประเมินอันเนี้ยถามว่าวิจัยในส่วนของวิจัยที่ได้เนี่ยมันได้แต่คอนเซปต์ผิดนะอาจจะเหลือแค่ 50% อันนี้กล้าพูดได้เลยนะครับนะเพราะฉะนั้นตรงจุดนี้มันก็เป็นอะไรที่ผมไม่รู้จะพูดยังไงนะเข้าใจที่ครูพูดใช่ไหมครับ
เข้าใจค่ะ
ถ้าเป็นภาษาครูเก่าๆที่บอกสอนแล้วไม่ยอมจำสอนไม่จำไงเพื่อนก็มีอยู่ตรงนั้นอาจารย์นิเทศวิชาเอกของเธอเนี่ยท่านอาจารย์สุมิตราเนี่ยหนูปรึกษาท่านตลอดเวลาไหม
ปรึกษาตลอดค่ะอาจารย์
ไอ้3 บทที่เธอเคยทำส่งครูอ่ะมันก็แปลงร่างไปเป็นอย่างอื่นก็ได้เพราะครูบอกแล้วว่า3 บทที่ทำตรงเนี้ยต่อไปก็ขึ้นอยู่กับอาจารย์นิเทศวิชาเอกที่ท่านจะมีเป็นผู้ที่มีอาญาสิทธิ์ชี้ขาดที่จะสั่งให้ทำให้แก้ไขหรืออะไรอย่างไรแต่ ตัวครูจะไม่ยุ่งครูจะยุ่งในฐานะที่ครูเป็นกรรมการกลางมาประเมินขั้นสุดท้ายส่วนอาจารย์ที่ท่านเป็นครูพี่เลี้ยงในโรงเรียนท่านเป็นที่ปรึกษาให้เราแต่ท่านก็ไม่มีสิทธิ์ที่จะมาสั่งว่าห้ามทำยกเว้นการเรียนการสอนตามปกติการประพฤติปฏิบัติตัวอะไรตรงนั้นเป็นหน้าที่ของเขาส่วนเรื่องพวกนี้รวมทั้งทำโครงการนะแล้วก็วิจัยแล้วก็การสอบเนี่ยอันนี้มันจะเป็นหลักๆคืออาจารย์นิเทศวิชาเอกท่านดูแลบทบาทมันคือตรงนั้นถ้าหนูแก้ไขโดยใช้วิธีง่ายๆเนี่ยแค่เพราะรุ่นพี่เราบางคนที่เจอปัญหาไปในช่วงโควิดมันเข้ามาก็บางทีบอกหนูล็อกไว้ที่10 คนเอาจริงๆไม่ได้ครับก็บอกอันนี้อย่าลืมว่าครูย้ำว่ามันเป็นวิจัยที่มันเป็นงานที่เราฝึกทำเราซ้อมทำไว้แต่มันก็ลุ่มลึกอยู่แต่วันหนึ่งข้างหน้าถ้าเอาตรงนี้แล้วไปแปลงเป็นวิจัยแบบง่ายมันก็ยิ่งง่ายเลยไงคือให้ทำงานแบบรู้เลยว่าได้2 ขาในเวลาเดียวกันหนูก็ไปทำขาที่3แต่ถามว่ามันคือคีนทางการสอนไหมไม่ใช่เพราะวิจัยช่วยแบบการในชั้นเรียนมันจะตีคู่ไปกับคีนการสอนชีวิตปกติเพราะนั้นที่ให้ไปทดลองสอนตอน practicum แล้วรายงานผลการทดลองสอนนั่นก็คือฝึกซ้อมทำวิจัยเบาๆมาแล้วเพื่อหาปัญหาสาเหตุแล้วก็มาลงตรงนี้นะครับเนาะเราก็จะได้ไปต่อได้ไม่นั้นนั่นไงไอ้น้องปี4ที่ฟังอยู่เขาชัดก็จะได้ชัดขึ้นที่เข้ามาฟังอยู่บางคนเขาก็เลยเพราะตอนนี้ครูกำลังขับเคี่ยวกับเขาอยู่พอสมควรแต่เดี๋ยวครูก็จะปรับแก้ชื่อวิจัยเขาให้ใหม่อีกรอบหนึ่งเพราะว่าบางอันเนื่องจากว่ามันปริมาณเกือบร้อยกว่าคนเนี่ยมันก็จะยุ่งนะของหนูเนี่ยหนูจะทำยังไงดีที่จะแก้ไขตรงนี้
แก้ไขให้เป็นแบบ
ไม่รู้หนูเพราะว่าตอนนี้เหลือเวลาแค่นี้เด็กนักเรียนไม่รู้มันก็นั่นไปหมดแล้วแล้วเด็กพวกนี้หนูสามารถคอนแทคแล้วหนูจะดีไซน์อะไรทำใหม่ได้ไหมแล้วเก็บข้อมูลใหม่แล้วก็รีวิวบทที่2ใหม่อาจารย์ก็ให้ส่งถึงวันที่11หนูก็มีเวลาหลับตื่นพอสมควรนะหวังว่างานตัวอื่นคงเสร็จไปแล้วเหลือแต่ตัวนี้ของหนูที่ถ้าคิดว่าจะปรับให้มันดีครูพูดเป็น question mark ให้ได้แค่นี้เองหนูต้องทำการบ้านเรื่องวิจัยเชิงปฏิบัติการในชั้นเรียนให้เคลียร์นะเพราะว่าหลักสูตรคบหรือกสบหรือศึกษาศาสตร์บัณฑิตเนี่ยที่เข้าขอไปให้เขารับรองที่ครุสภาเขาใช้คำเดียวครับวิจัยเชิงปฏิบัติการในชั้นเรียนนี่คือครุสภากำหนดตรงนี้ว่านี่คือมาตรฐานวิชาชีพเขาไม่ได้ใช้คำอื่นเลยนั้นวิจัยเชิงปฏิบัติการในชั้นเรียนในความเป็นครูผู้สอนมันแตะได้3 ขาอย่างที่ครูบอกถ้าเธอเป็นครูที่ปรึกษามันได้แต่มันไม่เกี่ยวกับวิชาเอกหรือกลุ่มสาระที่สอนมันเป็นพฤติกรรมกว้างๆแต่อะไรก็ได้เป็นตัวกลางๆหรือถ้าเป็นครูแนวทำงานแนวตรงนี้ก็ได้แต่เธอก็ไม่ได้ส่งสาขาแนวถ้าเขาส่งวิชาทางนู้นนะไม่ถึงส่งทางส่งวิชาชีพแค่แหละส่งผลงานเพราะยังไม่ถึงตรงนั้นแต่ฟิลของเรานี่ครูผู้สอนภาษาอังกฤษเพราะนั้นวิจัยเชิงปฏิบัติการในชั้นเรียนต้องแก้ไขปัญหาการเรียนรู้ภาษาอังกฤษส่วนพวกจิตวิทยาต่างๆในขอให้มันเป็นสาเหตุถึงเป็นสาเหตุที่มันส่งผลให้การเรียนรู้ภาษาอังกฤษผลสำเร็จทางการเรียนเรื่องนั้นเรื่องนี้ทางภาษาอังกฤษเนี่ยมันไม่ผ่านไม่ได้เรื่องไม่ได้ราวตกต่ำกว่าเกณฑ์แย่ไปเลยนั่นคือตรงนั้นนี่คือหัวใจแล้วตัวนี้แหละที่เขาถึงพูดว่าตรงนี้วิชาชีพครูผู้สอนภาษาอังกฤษ
ค่ะอาจารย์
หน้าที่ดีๆวันนี้สัก2 ชั่วโมงก่อนนะแล้วก็ค่อยๆลุยใหม่ถ้านัดเด็กได้และอะไรยังไงก็คุยกับครูเป็นการส่วนตัวก็แล้วกันมันมีวิธีที่จะอะไรแล้วถ้าเผื่อหนูได้โอเคกับนักเรียนเดี๋ยวหลังจากนี้แล้วก็ค่อยคุยกับครูก็แล้วกัน
ค่ะเดี๋ยวหนูปรึกษาอาจารย์สุมิตาด้วยค่ะ
เอาให้ชัดถ้าหนูจะคุยกับอาจารย์ท่านไหนก็คนหนึ่งไปเลยท่านั้นคุยกับอาจารย์สุมิตาเพราะว่าตรงนี้ไม่ใช่ละหนูกลับไปดู3 บทที่แล้วที่หนูเคยทำส่งครูมันคือเรื่องอะไรแล้วหนูก็ปรับเพราะว่าก็มีอาจารย์สุมิตาที่ท่านดูงานให้กับใครเนาะก่อนหน้านี้เมื่อกี้พูดไปแบบที่พรีเซนต์ไปโรงเรียนสารวิทยาใช่ไอ้เจ้าเนี้ยของเจ้าพักขวดีพรหมแก้วเนี่ยดูแนวเขาก็ได้เนี่ยเขาก็โปรเซสเนี่ยเขาโอเคก็ไม่ได้หาค่าอะไรมากมายวัตถุประสงค์แค่2 ตัวประสิทธิภาพไม่ได้หาเพราะว่าเขาแอพพลายมาจากวิสิตเอามาใช้ก็เชื่อว่าไอ้ตรงวิสิตตัวนั้นมันมีประสิทธิภาพอยู่แล้วเพราะมันเป็นโปรแกรมจะเรียกเป็นโปรแกรมประยุกต์ก็ได้หรืออะไรต่างๆเนี่ยซึ่งมันจะพูดว่ายังไงดีล่ะมันก็ถือว่ามันมีประสิทธิภาพแล้วก็คงไม่ต้องนั่นก็ได้แต่ถ้าเผื่อวันใดข้างหน้าคนที่เขาทำ10 ปีขึ้นไปนะจบไปแล้วอีก10 ปีอะไรนะก็ทำผลงานทางวิชาการเสนอเนี่ย เรื่องพวกนี้ไอ้พวกกรรมการผู้ตรวจต่างๆเขาจะดูประสิทธิภาพด้วยเพราะมันเป็นสิ่งที่คุณครีเอทขึ้นมาใหม่โอเคนะ
ค่ะ
เอาให้เคลียร์รีบทำหาวิธีการอันนั้นเธอก็ปรึกษากับอาจารย์สุมิตาประมาณสัก3 ครั้งก็ได้เอาเรื่องเบาๆก็ได้ลูกอะไรสักอย่างแล้วก็ขอดูงานวิจัยของเพื่อนใครก็ได้ที่เขาทำเสร็จแล้วดูแนวของเขาอันไหนที่คิดว่าเข้าทางหนูแล้วหนูมันค่อนข้างได้จัดไปลูกแต่เรื่องนี้บอกตรงไม่ผ่านสำหรับครูไม่ผ่านโอเคนะ
ค่ะอาจารย์ขอบคุณค่ะ Okay next school please
Okay, thank you. Wat Prasi Mahatma Secondary Demonstration School. And next. May I invite Nonthaburi Vidyalaya School to present? Please welcome.
Sorry, excuse me. Nonthaburi Vidyalaya School, can we skip to the afternoon section? Because some of our members still have some business. I'm so sorry.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Okay, next. May I invite เตรียมอุดมศึกษาพัฒนาการปทุมธานี School to present? Please welcome.
Thank you. So, it's for a minute. Okay. First of all, good morning, everyone. It's a pleasure to be here with you guys. Let's take a look with my school. เตรียมอุดมศึกษาพัฒนาการปทุมธานี School. Okay. And let me introduce myself. My name is Pasurati Chayapum. For a minute. And my supervisor, Assistant Professor Pathalawari Kase. And I divide the topic into 3 topics. First, internship knowledge. Second, project. And third, research. And let's take a look with the internship knowledge. What have I learned from the teachers? 1. Dealing with the problem encountered in online teaching. 2. Techniques for issuing exam to students. 3. Speaking and dressing appropriately. And next. If I am a teacher in the future, I will improve my speaking skill, personality, and project. 2. I will constantly improve my knowledge and abilities. Next, what have I learned from the students? 1. They always thought that English was too difficult. 2. Most of them do not like online learning. 3. They prefers doing activity and playing game than learning from the textbook. And next, if I am a teacher in the future, I will find new teaching techniques to use to develop students to have better academic achievement. 2. I will improve the teaching and learning management to be suitable for different types of learners. Next topic, my project, learning English with vocab. Okay. First of all, project advisors. The first one, Assistant Professor Pathalawari Kase. And the second one, Mrs. Sopa Proti, Teacher of เตรียมอุดมศึกษาพัฒนาการปทุมธานี. And next, project organizer, me, Miss Pasudati Chayapum. Okay. The first topic is let you know Teaching English as our level aim to enable students to be able to read and write appropriately for their grade level. Teachers usually conduct teaching start with teaching vocabulary, sentence structure, and then teaching reading. Vocabulary is the foundation of learning about different things. Students who are able to read, speak, write, to express their opinions must understand the vocabulary before they can learn anything else. Vocabulary is therefore an important component of languages that leads to the learning of the other skills. And next, target group are 43 students in มัธยม 1/6 of เตรียมอุดมศึกษาพัฒนาการปทุมธานี School. And next, the objectives. The first one is to encourage students to improve their skill in remembering English vocabulary. And second one, to study the satisfaction of students towards participating in the project. And next, 4. Overview of learning English with vocabs project. First step, I planning the project on 15 December 2021. Next, do. I execute the project as planned on 1 January to 31st January 2022. And 3. I collected the data, analysis, and result of project on 1 February 2022. And the last step, improve project evaluation results on 8 February 2022. And next, results. Students are satisfied with their participation in project activity at high level. This shows that students can memorize words better and can use apply to other skills. And next topic, research. The development of English listening skill for grade 7 students of เตรียมอุดมศึกษาพัฒนาการปทุมธานี through communicative approach. This is my overview. I divide into 9 parts. Let's start with the first one, rational. The researcher has been teaching English in grade 7 since the first semester. If the academic year 2021, it has been found that some students have a problem with English listening, which the researcher considers to be a problem that should be solved. And next one, research objective. The first one, to compare the English language learning achievement in the listening skill before and after the learning management by using the communicative approach. And second one, to study the student satisfaction toward the development of listening skill using the communicative approach. And next one, scope of the research. Population and sample. I used 10 people in grade 7 of เตรียมอุดมศึกษาพัฒนาการปทุมธานี Content and periods of time on semester of academic years 2021. And next one, 4. Conceptual framework, independent variable, using lesson plan on communicative approach and dependent variable. The first one, the learning achievement in listening skill before and after learning by using the communicative approach. And the second one, the student satisfaction toward learning by using the communicative approach. And next one, research instrument. Number 1, English lesson plan on communicative approach. Number 2, pre and post learning test of English on listening skill using communicative approach. And 3, student satisfaction questionnaire towards learning of listening skill using the communicative approach. And next one, data analysis. Part 1, analysis of learning achievement in listening skill by using the communicative approach. And part 2, analysis of students' satisfaction toward learning by using the communicative approach. Okay, part 1, analysis of learning achievement in listening skill by using the communicative approach. The average score was 8.60 and standard deviation was 0.71 and percentage score was 86.0. And next one, part 2, analysis of students' motivation towards learning by using the communicative approach. The average score was 4.42. Standard deviation was 0.70. And the last one, interpretation score was high level. And next one, research results. 1. The English listening ability of students after using the communicative approach was at a good level. Number 2. The students' satisfaction in development of listening skill through the communicative approach was at the high level. And discussion. The result of the research found that our students had higher English languages learning achievement in listening skill after using the communicative approach, which had a specified criteria in an average score of 70%. This is due to learning management based on the concept of teaching language for communication. According to Lesson Freeman 2000, said that the goal of communicative language teaching is to enable learners to communicate in the language they are learning. And to do this, learners must have sufficient knowledge of languages and must choose the language style that is appropriate for the communication situation. And next one. The student satisfaction in development of listening skill through communicative approach was at a high level. From the research, it was found that because the principal concept of teaching and learning English for communication are aimed at providing learners with basic knowledge. It has basic languages. Skill is communication and focusing on listening skill in particular. The teaching approach therefore emphasizes learners' practice such as listening and speaking practice in the small group rather than practicing with the whole class. And as a result, students have more confidence and learning English with having fun while studying. And next one, suggestion. The first general suggestion. The first one, the researcher should have a variety of language activity in warm-up and practice stuff. And activity should be activity that allows students to practice listening skill as much as possible to create a fun learning environment. And second one, in organizing learning activity, all students must be actively involved regardless of the type of student by organizing mixed competent groups so that everyone is equal and can express their opinions fully. And next one. Number 2, for the future research, there should be research of development English listening skill using the communicative approach with the other secondary school students. And second one, future research with an emphasis of using the communicative approach should be an undertaker to develop other language skills such as reading skill, writing, or speaking skill. And thank you for your attention. Do you have any question or suggestion for my school?
Well, just a moment, please. Okay. First, I have some question.
Yes.
You told me that you use a cognitive approach to your research, right?
Yes.
Can you give me some clear example that help student a lot for for listening skill? What do you use it?
For me, I use about technique that
Like
make
the video, right? Or
something like video, right?
again, please.
What have you said again เมื่อกี้พูดอะไรหรือเปล่าก่อนหน้านี้ให้เปิดเป็นวิดีโอเหรอคะหรือว่ายังไง
I'm asking the clear I'm asking about your communication approach.
Yes.
What do you use for your student to improve your student listening skill?
I just use the simple conversation and then let them listen and try to let them speak in daily life. Just for example, when we go to the restaurant and then how to speak when we talk to the waiter, something like that. Yes.
Okay. Thank you.
Yes. Thank you. Anyone else want to ask me some question?
I have a question.
Yes.
That's okay. Oh, can you tell me about a technique for issuing exam to students?
Techniques for issuing exams. Yes. Let me think for a few seconds. Okay. It's about technique that I use for issuing exam to the student, such as midterm test or final test or final exam. The exam should be appropriate for student and must not be easy or too hard for them. We should design or ออกข้อสอบค่ะให้มันเหมาะสมกับนักเรียน Yes, that's suitable for them. Yes, something like that.
Okay, thank you so much.
Okay, anyone else? Okay, if all you don't have any question, thank you so much for your attention. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. เตรียมอุดมศึกษาพัฒนาการปทุมธานี School. And next, may I invite Okay, may I invite ดอนเมืองทหารอากาศบำรุงSchool to present. Please welcome.
Thank you for your invitation.
Okay, thank you. And waiting for this word for such like a long time. Okay, just wait a minute, please.แป๊บนึงนะคะรถมาขายไอติม Okay. First of all, thank you for being here, everyone. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to our school. We are from ดอนเมืองทหารอากาศบำรุง School. First of all, let us introduce ourselves first. My name is ภัทราพรเพ็งพันธ์ My ID number 008.
And my name is Phakdiporn Chumpon. My ID number 018. We are from section 1.
And these are our mentor teacher. Mrs. Chavi Wanravi Warakon is my mentor teacher.
And Miss Papatsara Chompunun is my mentor teacher. And for our supervisor is Dr. Wilayjit Ninsawat.
Okay, for today's presentation, we are going to talk about the three main topics. For the first one is internship knowledge, which are learning from teachers and learning from students. And the second is the project. And the name of our project is Learning Phrasal Verbs and Idioms with Song. And the last one is Classroom Action Research. The name of the Classroom Action Research is Using Bucket Game to Help Students Memorize English Vocabulary of Grade 7 Student of ดอนเมืองทหารอากาศบำรุง School. It's my research. Okay, all right, let's start with the first topic. The first topic is internship knowledge. So I will start with the learning from Don Mueang Thahan Akat Bamrung's teachers. The first one is be a good teacher. The teacher should be punctual all the time. As the teacher at Don Mueang Thahan Akat Bamrung School, we have to arrive at school not late than 7:45 a.m. Next, the teacher have good manners in order to be the example for students. Next, the teacher should have strong communication skills. Next, the teacher should be adaptive. In this, as the COVID-19 situation, we have to teach both online and on-site. So the teacher have to adapt the learning style or the teaching method to be suitable for the nowadays situation. And the last one, the teacher should be prepared, because well-prepared teacher can make the student learn effectively. Next, please. Next is learning new things. The first one, build excitement for content and lesson plan, both online and on-site. We can make the content more exciting and interesting by applying games or activity or interesting activity that the student interested in. Okay, next one is game-based learning. Nope, game-based learning. Okay, game-based learning to teach online and on-site. Okay, we use like Bucket game, as you see in the screen, Bucket game, word war game, Kahoot game, bomb game, and others. And I'm sure that all of the teachers in this online meeting have used this, right? Okay, and the last one, new teaching style and innovation. I will pick the flipped classroom. Do you know flipped classroom? Okay, flipped classroom, the main objective of this methodology is to optimize the time in class to dedicating it. For example, to meet the special needs of each individual student, develop cooperative project or work in a special task. All right. For the next topic, may I invite Ms. Paktiporn Chumpon to present. Please welcome.
Thank you for your invitation. For this topic, learning from Don Mueang Thahan Akat Bamrung School student, I will start with classroom management. First, create classroom rules with your students from the first day. We have to create the rules with students from the first day about attendance, hand-on homework, or score, because students will get used to with rules and happy learning. Second, don't ignore any negative behavior. If we ignore the students' negative behavior, it will have an effect on their learning. Teachers should motivate students to learn. And the last one, problem-solving skill. For example, teacher prepare teaching material using PowerPoint presentation, but projector in the classroom doesn't work. Teacher may have to modify the teaching material to a board or a large sheet of paper instead. Second, learning style. We have learned from students that they have different styles of learning. And we found that students are able to learn by playing online game or activity than study in the classroom using textbook only. Second, willing to learn only when teachers explain them how much they need to learn. And the last one, love practice much more than listening to language. Okay, I will move to the next topic is project. Our project is learning phrase verbs and idiom with songs. Okay, for original, learning English phrase verbs and idiom is important because it helps students understand the meaning of the words, which will lead to the capability to speak, listen, read, and write with proper and natural meaning. Our project is a project that allows students to listen to songs that they are familiar with, and teachers talk important and interesting English phrasal verbs and idioms from the song lyrics to present to the student. They also learn some important vocabulary. Moreover, they use those phrasal verbs and idioms in daily life. Okay, and the target group are 13 students, grade 7 and grade 8 of ดอนเมืองทหารอากาศบำรุง School. And they are two objectives of our projects. First, to develop listening skills, understand meaning and memorize English phrasal verbs and idiom from songs. Second, to study the definitions of the students who participate in learning phrasal verbs and idiom with song project. And this is overview of our project. First, plan. We're meeting and planning for projects on December 20, 2021. Second, do. We do learning phrasal verbs and idiom with songs on January 27, 2022 to February 9, 2022. Third, check. We collect the data and did the data analysis and summarize the results of the projects on February 12, 2022. And the last one, adjust. We correct the projects on February 16, 2022. Okay, for the results of our project, the definitions of the student who participate in learning phrasal verbs and idiom with songs project was at a high level, average about 4.82. Okay, next, may I invite Ms. Patharapon Pengpan to present the classroom action research. Please welcome.
Okay, thank you so much for your invitation. For the classroom action research is my research, as I told you earlier. The name of the research is using Booklet Game to help the student memorize English vocabulary for grade 7 students at ดอนเมืองทหารอากาศบำรุง School. Next, please. For the overview of the research, I divided into 9 parts, 9 topics. The first one, rational, research objectives, scope of the research, conceptual frameworks, research instrument, data analysis, research results, discussion, and suggestion. Okay, let's start with the first one, rational. Since semester 1, academic year 2021, it has been found that some students still have a problem with memorizing of English vocabulary. So, the researcher has considered to be a significant problem which should be resolved promptly. Next, please. Next is research objectives. There are 3 research objectives. The first one is to study the students' abilities in memorizing English vocabulary by using Booklet Game. The second is to study the efficiency of the Booklet Game to improve the students' ability to memorize English vocabulary. And the last one is to study the students' satisfaction towards using Booklet Game to memorize English vocabulary. Next, please. Next is the scope of the research. I divide into 3 topics. The first one, population and samples. The population is the class of grade 7 students of ดอนเมืองทหารอากาศบำรุง School in the second semester in academic year 2021-22. There are 426 students, and the samples are the students in class 1/10 for 38 students. For the content, it's 6 groups of vocabulary, and the vocabulary is from their textbook, from the students' textbook. For the periods of time is in the semester 1, from the 1st of November 2021 to 28th February 2022. Next, please. Concept framework. I will start with the dependent variable first. It is using Booklet Game to help students memorize English vocabulary of grade 7 students of ดอนเมืองทหารอากาศบำรุง School. Independent variable, there are 3 topics. The first one, learning ability on memorizing English vocabulary. And the second is the efficacy of Booklet Game on memorizing English vocabulary. And the last one is the student satisfaction towards using Booklet Game and memorizing English vocabulary. For the research instrument, There are three instruments of the research. The first one is 6 English lesson plans on memorizing English vocabulary. The second is the test on memorizing English vocabulary. And the last one, the student satisfaction questionnaire towards memorizing English vocabulary. Next, please. For the data analysis, I divide into 3 parts. The part 1 is analysis of learning ability on memorizing English vocabulary. I use mean, standard deviation, and percentage. For the part 2, analysis of efficacy of Booklet game on memorizing English vocabulary. I use E1 and E2. And part 3 is analysis of student satisfaction towards using Booklet game to memorize English vocabulary. I use mean and standard deviation. All right, let's take a look at this. The test on memorize English vocabulary. I use the student in 1/10 for 38 students. The X-bar or the average score is, the total average score is 20. And the average was 18.55. And the standard deviation was 1.59. And percentage is 92.75, which means it's in a very good level. For the part 2, analysis of efficacy of Booklet game and on memorizing English vocabulary. The average score of activity I test for 6 times, and the average was 49.89, and E1 was 83.15, and average test score after study completion was 18.55, and E2 was 92.75. Next, please. Okay, and the last part is analysis of student satisfaction towards using Booklet game to memorize English vocabulary. The average score was 4.92, and the standard deviation was 0.11, which means in the most level. Next, please. The research result. There are 3 results. The first one, the learning ability on using Booklet game to help students memorize English vocabulary was at a very good level, and the average score was 92.75. The second, the efficacy of the booklet used to help students memorize English vocabulary was efficient. The E1 is 93.15 and the E2 is 92.75. And the last one is the student had a high level of positive attitudes toward memorizing English vocabulary. The mean score is 4.72. Next, please. Okay, for the discussion. Oh, wait a minute, please. Sorry. For the discussion, the learning abilities on using Booklet game to help the student memorize English vocabulary was at a very good level, which means the average score was 92.75. The result of the research revealed that the student had the highest level of the achievement on memorizing English vocabulary because the researcher has designed the learning activities to be fun and knowledgeable. Using games for teaching and learning can help developing learners' vocabulary. It can also help learners learn and have fun. It also helps the student to have higher learning achievement than learning by normal teaching method. This is said by Apornsiri Pornraksa, 2000. Okay, next please. Next. Okay, the second is the efficacy of the booklet used to help students memorize English vocabulary was efficient. That means the E1 is 93.15 and the E2 is 92.75. Using booklet game to help the student memorize English vocabulary was efficient in accordance with the specific criterion due to the fact that the researcher focused on the quality of the innovation standard before it was used in learning activity. The lesson plan using Booklet had been approved by 3 experts for the teacher in the school. The efficacy is E1 83.15 and E2 is 92.75. This means the lesson plan using Booklet game can be used in the research process, and it was found that the lesson plan using Booklet game to help the student memorize English vocabulary was efficient. Next, please. And the last one, the student had a high level of positive attitude toward memorizing English vocabulary, and the mean score is 4.72. The students were satisfied with their abilities to memorize English vocabulary at the highest level because the researcher designed the learning activity that focuses on the learning with enjoyment. In addition, the insertion of game-based learning persuaded and motivated them to memorize English vocabulary, as well as enable them to apply the skill in their daily life. Next, please. And the last topic is suggestion. I divide the suggestion into two parts. The first part is general suggestion. All right, we'll start with the first one. Researchers should use various learning resources for improving students' other skills, such as audio or YouTube. And the second is researchers should take the words that the student learn to make conversation and ask them to use in daily life in order to improve their memorization of English vocabulary. And the next one is for the further research. The first one is research on using Booklet game for improving memorization of English vocabulary can be used for students in different levels or other skills such as grammatical function, reading, or writing. And the last one is the experiment period should be increased. It may take 1 or 2 semesters to study efficacy of the game to increase the student interest in learning English. All right, that's all of our presentation. Thank you so much, all of you, for your attention. And do you have any question for our presentation? Do you have any
Thank
question?
you very much.
Sorry? Sorry, what did you say? Please. Okay. If there's no question, all right. Thank you so much for paying attention for ดอนเมืองทหารอากาศบำรุง School presentation. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, ดอนเมืองทหารอากาศบำรุง School.
Okay, and next, let's take a 10-minute break and we will come back on at 12:20. Thank you.
มื่อกี้คุณทิตายกมือไม่เห็นมีใครดูเลย